rocks, bottles, and other objects hurled at police and National Guard troops, and looters went on a rampage. President Trump says he is prepared to send in active-duty military units if the violence does not stop.
The Pentagon said Marines at Camp Pendleton were on high alert and would be mobilized if violence continues. And that posture has the backing of Donald Trump.
I mean, if we see danger to our country and to our citizens, we'll be very, very strong in terms of law and order.
Asked if he plans to send U.S. troops to Los Angeles, the president said, "We're going to have troops everywhere." California's Democratic officials have decried the National Guard deployment. Greg Clugston, Washington.
L.A. Police Chief Jim McDonnell says downtown has been declared an unlawful assembly zone.
In recent days, many protests across the city have been peaceful, and we thank the community for expressing their views and their frustration in a responsible manner. However, when peaceful demonstrations devolve into acts of vandalism or violence, especially violence directed at innocent people, law enforcement officers, and others, we must respond firmly.
California Governor Gavin Newsom claims President Trump's National Guard deployment violates state sovereignty and is unlawful, and Newsom, plans to sue. Russia's 3-year war in Ukraine shows no signs of ending. Ukraine's Air Force says the Russians have launched the largest overnight drone attack so far, 479 drones fired into Ukraine. On Wall Street, ahead of this morning's opening bell, the Dow futures 40 points higher, Nasdaq futures up 14. More on these stories at townhall.com.
If you're living with pain, see how Relief Factor can help.
My back got injured very bad. I was off work for about a year. I heard about Relief Factor from my wife. I took it every day, 3 times a day for 3 weeks. Look at her and I said, "The pain is gone." And she said, "I'm glad it helped." I said, "No, you don't understand. It's gone."
Fight pain naturally with Relief Factor. Go to ReliefFactor.com and get your 3-week quick start today. Only $19.95.
Progressive knows when you're on your boat, you're already on vacation. And Vacation You forgets all your worries. Vacation You doesn't even keep track of time and knows that time is a meaningless construct designed to control us, man. But Regular You knows you don't want to be too far out in the water after the sun goes down because Vacation You doesn't know how to navigate in the dark yet. Vacation You and Regular You really need to get on the same page. So bundle your boat with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
China reports its exports to the U.S. fell 35% last month from a year ago, straining the economy as trade talks with Washington get going in London. Customs data out today shows total exports rose 4.8% in May from a year earlier, much lower than economists had been forecasting and down sharply from an 8.1% jump in April. Its imports declined 3.4% year-on-year, leaving a trade surplus of $103.2 billion. China's exports to the U.S. fell 9.7% in May to June. Exports to the U.S. sank even after President Trump struck a deal with Beijing in early May, delaying imposing stiff tariff hikes to allow time for the talks. 2 people were killed by falling trees. Line of severe storms pushing through the south over the weekend. The storms downed trees and power lines, brought heavy rainfall along with gusty winds. PowerOutage.us reported about 150,000 people without power as of yesterday morning. Townhall.com. New poll finds that more Americans say their standard of living has not declined since their teen years, although they definitely see a downhill trend in the culture.
The latest Rasmussen Reports national telephone and online survey finds that 40% of American adults believe their standard of living was better when they were teenagers. 38% think their standard of living is better now. Whatever their view of their standard of living since their teens, most Americans definitely think that the culture has headed downhill. Ken Lorman reporting.
President Trump's new ban on travel to the United States by citizens from 12 mainly African and Middle Eastern countries is now in effect. The ban took effect today. It applies to citizens of Afghanistan, Myanmar, and Chad, the Republic of Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, and Libya, along with Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen. More on these stories. Townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat.
Yeah, come on.
feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel wishing, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to the beginning of a week without Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. That's right, I ain't he, that wouldn't be me. Mixmaster Mike Winters is off this week, enjoying some time away with his lovely wife, Kim. They're off, I believe today they're heading up to Colorado to do some exploring, kind of wander around, do the touristy thing for a minute. They're doing the Durango train, which is one of those that I've always wanted to do, and it's so close. It's just, it's just out of reach financially, but the passenger train that rides along the I guess the ridge there of the Durango Canyon, it's an absolutely amazing and breathtaking ride. But they're going to be doing that, I think, later on this week. Beginning this week, they're just kind of doing the touristy thing, chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool. And they'll be doing some, touring the cliff dwellings, I think, at some point this week. Just kind of living it up. So he's going to be off this week doing his thing. And you got me. You got the you got the fill-in, the second banana, the guy who usually just does the sound effects. I'll be filling in for Mixmaster Mike for this week. Hopefully that doesn't turn you off, because I like to think we have lots and lots of fun things to talk about. Gotta say real quick on the top, a big thanks to Digger Wells is what we're calling him. Digger Wells. He's our new cohort here in Pecos Valley Broadcasting Land. He is going to be filling in for me over on my show on 92.9 The Brand this week, while I am filling in for Mixmaster Mike. So big thanks to Digger Wells. You'll be hearing from him throughout the week, just with some fun, witty banter and repartee. For those who don't know, Digger also runs the Mind Probe Trivia here in town. So he, like me, is chock full of completely useless information, which is great if you work in radio. It's great if you work in trivia. It doesn't really serve you that well elsewhere in life. But hey, in here, we are gods. But we'll be talking with Digger coming up here in just a little bit. And by the way, you got to be careful. It's a hard D on that Digger Wells. But excuse me. Hopefully you had a great weekend. I had a decent weekend myself. Took some time to hang out with the kiddos. I know that summertime is here and everybody's got summer brain. And kids get in their head that if I don't do at least one worthwhile thing today, the whole day is wasted. And I like the attitude, except I have to be the one to facilitate that one thing that they do. So it was, trying to find activities, trying to find fun stuff. My son, Hunter, is coming off of a week of Camp Invention. He had a fantastic time during Camp Invention. For those who haven't had the Camp Invention experience, or the kids haven't, I absolutely recommend it. It's an amazing week of just knowledge and exploration, and he taught me some things that I didn't even know this week. And one of the things that was kind of cool is I actually got pulled aside from one of the instructors that said Hunter is such a good reader that he actually got up in front of the campers and actually read pages out of the workbook that they were using. They had words like bioluminescence and what was the other one? Ferrofluid, something fluid. I'm not sure. He knew what he was talking about. I have no idea, but he just learned all kinds of cool concepts. So his brain was still very much in sponge mode this week. He very much wanted to just kind of learn more stuff. Like he got a kaleidoscope during Camp Invention, so he was, using that all around and trying to find different colors and different patterns. He got a claw machine that was kind of one of their projects this week, and he was showing us how to use the claw and stuff. So lots and lots of cool extras that we got from Camp Invention. So those those made for some fun times this week. Did get a chance to get out to the old pool and or splash pad. It was a hot one. I mean, it was a scorcher. It was just looking for any excuse to get wet, to cool down. It was definitely worthwhile. So for those of you who don't know, by the way, the two splash pads, the main ones, the Burt Murphy Family Splash Pad on East 2nd and the splash pad over there on Southeast Main, right across from Allsup's. Those two are currently, I believe, under maintenance. They're waiting on some parts. I've heard rumors that the one on 2nd is open. I haven't confirmed that yet. However, those will be open as soon as possible. But the splash pad next to the Aquatic Center in the all-inclusive park, that splash pad is open and working. So if you're looking for a place to cool down, well, we got you covered with the splash pad right there by the Aquatic Center. But the good news, it looks like the cool down is going to happen for you this week. We've got a whole bunch of rain chances heading through Wednesday afternoon. So we'll talk about that. We'll break that down coming up here in just a few minutes when we run the weather. But we do have a busy show, a full slate for you today. So let me give you the rundown for today's show. Coming up here in just a few minutes, we're going to chit-chat with Matt Bristol from Bristol Law Office, just upstairs. It was a long commute to get down to the station this morning. But we'll be chit-chatting with Matt. He's a wealth of information, and we'll probe his mind and see what's going on in the legal world these days. More on that coming up in just a few minutes. Here in the 8 o'clock hour, around 8:15 or so, we're going to have the folks from Outreach Service of America stopping by, telling us a little bit about their organization, what they do, and how they help the folks in need and the ones that need it the most. And then here in the 9 o'clock hour, around 9:15 or so, we'll be chit-chatting with the Health Council, the Travis County Health Council, Miss Carrie Moore, and some other folks. It's fast approaching. The health fair is coming up in August, and I know it seems like an eternity away, but I'll remind you, we were saying the same thing about Camp Invention, and now we're done with it. So time flies in this crazy new world we find ourselves in. So with that in mind, we'll chit-chat about what's going on with the Health Council and the upcoming health fair coming up here in just a little bit. But right now, at 12 minutes after 7 o'clock, let us pause and get you up to date with the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Cold front now off to our south, but we have a lot of warm and humid air over the area. Showers and thunderstorms will be possible today. Some of those storms could be severe with large hail and damaging wind. Our afternoon high today in the mid-80s. Showers and thunderstorms, pretty good possibility overnight with mid-60s, and then more showers and thunderstorms on Tuesday, mid-80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Now that I've successfully destroyed the frog in my throat. 13 minutes after 7 o'clock, 70 degrees around Roswell Way. Humidity is at about 66%. Winds out of the north at around 9 miles an hour. Barometer at about 30.09 inches. For today, like I said, the first half of the week, we got some rain chances. So this gives meteorologists a chance to break out their thesauruses and write little mini novels. So, scattered showers and thunderstorms after 3 p.m. today. Some of those storms could be severe. Mostly cloudy. We're looking at a high of around 84 degrees today. So that's a big dip from yesterday's 99 to 100. Winds out of the north 5 to 10, becoming southeast in the afternoon. Chance of rain today is 30%. For tonight, scattered showers, thunderstorms, mostly before 3 a.m. Some of those storms could be severe. We're looking for mostly cloudy with a low of around 64. Winds out of the southeast 5 to 10, becoming north in the evening. Your chance of rain is at around 30%. Same thing goes for tomorrow. Showers, thunderstorms likely mainly before noon. Some of those storms could be severe. Mostly cloudy, a high of around 87. Winds out of the north 5 to 10, becoming south later in the afternoon. We've officially reached that point when I have to make it big, because Mike likes little writing for some reason. Even though he's blind, he still likes little writing. But the big chance for rain coming tomorrow afternoon, your chance of rain is 70%. New rainfall amounts of less than 1/10 of an inch, except higher amounts possible in case of thunderstorms. Scattered showers, thunderstorms for your Tuesday night as well. 50% chance of rain Tuesday night, a 30% chance of rain on Wednesday. Most of those rain chances before noon, partly sunny, a high of around 88. And then we're kind of back to semi-normalcy for the back half of the week. 65 for your overnight low on Wednesday night, mostly sunny, and 95 for your Thursday, 98 for the high on Friday, and back to triple digits just in time for the freaking weekend. 100 for Saturday, 101 for the high on Sunday. Hey, real quick, wanted to tell you about an exciting event coming up, as if you didn't know. It's time to get ready for a sky full of lights with a special fireworks and drone show brought to you by our friends at Church on the Move and Constructibles. They're going to be putting on this show Saturday, June 21st at Cielo Grande Park, just out east of Roswell. And it's a few weeks before the actual 4th of July. So it's kind of a chance to, get yourself excited and get yourself worked up for the 4th of July festivities. But this happening June 21st. Come early because the first 3,000 people will get a free hamburger starting at 5 p.m. and a special Veterans Steak Dinner from 6 till 8 p.m. Now, this special steak dinner is to honor our veterans. So you, your family members, or 3 of your guests are allowed to be a part of this. Bring your DD-214 or military ID. And as I said, you and up to 3 immediate household members or friends are invited for this into a special air-conditioned tent. It's a little different this year. They're having everything on site at Cielo Grande. So they'll have a tent set up for the veterans. It'll be temperature controlled so you can enjoy your meal and enjoy the entertainment there as well. Then, once the sun goes down, we're going to light up the night sky with a drone show and a fireworks display to get you excited and ready for the summertime. This, of course, brought to you by our friends at Constructibles and Church on the Move in Roswell. If you want more information, call 575-622-7011. 16 minutes now, 17 after 7 o'clock. Going to pause and pay a couple of these bills. After these, Matt Bristol on the other side of these on a Morning Without Mike Winters. Stay tuned.
When managing a chronic illness, access to the right treatments makes all the difference. Artesia General Hospital's Infusion Center provides IV therapy and biologic treatments, so you don't have to travel far for care. Expert infusion therapy right here in Artesia. Call 575-736-8256 today to learn more.
Growing things in Roswell is a battle. Your lawn's trying to turn brown, your trees are wanting to turn yellow, the weeds want to take over, and the fleas and ticks are trying to move in. So come down to Roswell Seed Company and choose your weapons. We have fertilizer to make your lawn lush and lovely, iron to keep your trees nice and green, sprays to kill the weeds, and more sprays to chase away the fleas and ticks. This is Ben Manette from Roswell Seed Company. Yeah, it's a jungle out there, except it never rains.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. A good June run for today. We expect to sell 900 head. Break it down like this: 125 weigh cows and bulls, 125 pairs of bred cows, 725 calves and yearlings. Today's sale will include 50 to 60 cow-calf pairs, mostly black white-face Angus and Brangus cross cows with black white-face calves at side. Most of the pairs 5 to 10 years old. Thin to medium condition with good calves. 11 bred cows, K&D Cattle Company, Hagerman, New Mexico. Excellent quality black Angus cows, good flesh, bred to Hereford bulls, 5 to 8 years old. 18 steer calves, Mr. Trevor Gray at Hagerman. Excellent quality black white face Angus crossbreds, Bovishield Gold 7-weight, Enforce 3, Covex and 8. 350, 450 pounds. 33 calves, Gillespie Ranch, Mayhill, New Mexico. Excellent quality black white face, red white face English crossbred calves. 1 round of shots, 300, 450 pounds. 51 light yearlings, B&B Cattle Company, Fort Hancock, Texas. Excellent quality black white face and Charolais crossbred yearlings. Thin to medium condition, right off grass, 500, 675 pounds. 31 calves, R&R Cattle Company, Sierra Blanca, Texas. Excellent quality black Angus crossbreds, cattle weaned 60-plus days. Fiber Shield 6, 7-weight, 400, 550 pounds. 23 calves, Holder Landing Cattle Company over in Socorro County. Good quality black Angus and Brangus crosses, thin condition, 400, 550 pounds. And 19 calves and light yearlings, the U-Bar Ranch at Silver City, New Mexico. Ex-quality black Angus crosses, 1 round of shots, thin to medium condition, 400, 700 pounds. Sale time this morning be 9 o'clock. Sell pairs of bred cows 9:30. Be selling calves and yearlings around 10 to 10:15. We are short on weigh cows and bulls today. Be on pairs and bred cows pretty quick. We expect to sell 900 head. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Sigmund Freud once believed that cocaine could be used to help treat a morphine addiction. Mike used bacon to get over his addiction to beef. Here's Mike Winters.
And now he's hooked on both. 20 minutes after 7 o'clock. Good morning. Welcome to a Monday morning without Mike Winters. And joining me in studio, finally in an official capacity, from the Bristol Law Office, Matt Bristol. How are you doing this morning?
Good, Sean. How are you doing today?
Doing good. Just kind of trying to keep all the plates a-spinning, making sure everything, all the wheels are working. Coming off of a weekend, it was kind of nice to have a couple of days to just not think about life for a while. But then we're back to now.
Yes, back to the make-believe world of earn a living.
Yeah, I live vicariously through Mike's adventures these days, so I'm sure I'll have lots of stories and pictures tomorrow. But as for today, we trudge on. So how have things been in your world?
Good. Been staying busy. Been actually been working about half time since last summer.
Okay.
So it's
coming off of a hunt recently, if my memory serves correctly.
Yes, actually I had one last fall and then one this spring. Last fall I was in Africa, in the country of Mozambique, and then last month I was in Argentina and Patagonia.
Is that one of those? I went on a hunt in Africa, and all I got to show for it was this tumbler.
No, well, my staff got some of the photos of some of the animals and put them on this for me for Christmas.
Nice.
So yeah, I finally got a Cape buffalo, which I've been wanting for a long time.
Okay. So how does that work? I know you hunt for the game for the collection, right? So you take the trophy, the head.
Yes.
You have to. I mean, how does that work? Getting it back here? Obviously, you can't throw it in like a check bag or something.
No, you cannot. So the this particular hunt was on government land.
Okay.
And so the meat goes to feed the local population.
Nice.
And so the chieftains show up, and we give them the meat, and they decide how to divide it among their clan. Yeah, we have nothing to do with that. Although one of the interesting things was one of the local quote spiritualists wanted some fresh meat. So while we're calling a spiritualist instead of a witch doctor, I have no idea. We're being PC in the middle of nowhere, Mozambique.
That's understandable. But you got to be careful with witch doctors because I've heard they shrink your head.
Oh, yes. Well, when they ask, the answer is yes. We'll be glad.
Now, do you get to, I mean, you've probably tried it before, but do you get to have any of this like as a meal or like a at the end of the situation, do you get like served a part of the portion of the?
Yes, we did eat. We did eat what we kill. Sure did. Got to try the buffalo. We had some sable and some other animals that we got to eat. So that's always fun. Try something new, something exotic. Doesn't taste too terribly weird, which is nice. But they have to get the trophies back. What they do is they skin the animal, and then they have to treat the skin. They also have to take the skin off the skull, which means using X-Acto knives, basically. Sure. And then they have to make sure there's absolutely no meat anywhere on the skull or the skin.
Purposes and things like that.
Right, parasites, bugs, that kind of stuff. And so that takes actually quite a bit of preparation to, and then they have to treat the skin to make sure the hair doesn't slough off.
Okay.
So it wasn't until
that's a process.
Quite a process. It wasn't until a month or two ago that the hides had actually left Mozambique for South Africa. So that took several months, 5 months or more, just to get them prepped where they could go from one country to the other. And then you can have them taxidermied here or there. And taxidermy is basically just a styrofoam form.
Okay.
And they put over the form the skin.
So the skull itself, it's not part of the trophy, so to speak.
Not always, no.
Okay. That's interesting. I had no idea.
Yeah, so so a lot of them, the animal's horns will come off when during the preparation, and so that's how they ship it, is with the horns off. And then you put the horns back on.
That is crazy.
Yeah, so some mounts are skull mounts, which is only the skull and the horns. But if it's going to be like a styrofoam, what's called a shoulder mount, then there's no skull.
Huh. That's crazy. So you still haven't actually taken ownership of the trophy yet?
No, they're still in Africa.
That's crazy.
It takes about almost a year to get them back.
Of course, you have to plan some space for it because you've already got quite a few trophies up.
Yeah, I need to find some space. There's some rearrange that I need to do. I haven't done yet, but need to do that.
And then you said you were in Patagonia this spring?
Yeah, in April I was in Patagonia, which is southwestern Argentina.
Sure. What were you hunting down there?
European red stag. They were imported about 100 years ago.
European red stag is what they called me in high school.
Was that stag or stud?
No, red stag.
Oh, okay.
It was because I was always alone. But so any luck during that hunt?
Yeah, I got a stag.
Okay.
So their seasons are opposite from us. So it was their fall, and the stags roar. They make roaring noises during the mating season.
Gotcha.
And one particular morning, it was cool and drizzly and overcast, and the bulls were roaring. We could hear several of them.
Bunch of horny bulls out in the field, just enjoying the drizzle.
Yes.
So now you have to prep for this. Obviously, you have to. Do you do the whole urine of the creature that you're hunting thing?
No, we did not.
Okay.
Didn't have to do any of that for the red stag. Since they're in the mating mode, then they tend to focus on the mating more than paying attention to what's going on around them, which is good for us.
Sure.
But there are, some people in the United States, they hunt deer, and so they have, doe urine and other scents they use to disguise their scent. But we did not do that in Patagonia, no.
So I'm curious, is ever when you're hiding in a bush, do legal matters ever cross your mind? Like you're sitting there hiding, looking for a stag, and you just start thinking about like a court case that's been nagging at you?
No, fortunately, very much present in the moment.
There you go. Keeps your focus. Good.
And, looking for anything that moves and some things that don't move. So you're not always looking for an entire animal. You're looking for pieces of animal.
Okay.
That may be peeking around a corner or something. And it's just gorgeous scenery. It's very wide open there. Some trees, but mostly low scrub. Just gorgeous countryside.
Fantastic. That is awesome. Now, obviously, that's half your year, and your other half of your year you spend in the office, in the books, and in the courtroom, dealing with folks' issues. Now, today, what are we talking about today?
We're talking about asset protection.
Asset protection. Okay.
So there are certain assets that we own that are protected from creditor collection.
Sure.
And so if you think about back in the days of the Wild West and the cowboy would ride into town and he'd go in the saloon and start drinking. Then he started playing poker, and pretty soon he's lost the family farm, and the wife and the kids are on the street with nothing but the clothes on their back. So our legislature decided that's a bad idea. And so our legislature has passed laws that our citizens are entitled to a certain minimum standard of living.
Okay.
We don't want our citizens driven below the poverty line.
Sure.
So there's certain assets that we as New Mexicans get to keep that no creditor can take away from us.
Okay.
So we're guaranteed a certain minimum standard of living.
Right. So it's not like that situation like the trope in all the movies and TV shows where you see guys coming in and hauling out the expensive vases and the couches and stuff.
No, not like that. So the state law of asset protection is also protections we can use in a bankruptcy situation, which is nice because it's very generous. So, for example, homeowner. Each homeowner can protect up to $150,000 worth of net worth in a home. So that's single persons, $150,000, but a married couple's $300,000.
Sure.
So that protects a lot of equity in the home. We protect up to $10,000 worth of equity or net worth in a motor vehicle.
Okay.
Household goods and furnishings is like ridiculously stupid high amount. And we value everything as used items, because everything you and I own is used.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once you drive it off the lot, it's considered,
used.
Pre-owned.
Yeah. So if you think of your household items, used household items, and if you had to go to a secondhand store to replace them, it's not going to cost that much at a secondhand store. But under state law, you can protect up to $75,000.
Really?
And I don't know anybody that's that much crap.
No, see, that's the thing. Most of the stuff in my house I've gotten by trading other stuff that was in my house before.
Yeah. Yeah. Really.
So that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know much stuff costs that much new.
Now this is obviously with property that is owned. What happens in a situation where in a renter's situation, like if you're renting a home, or if you're, say, not quite paid up on a car, if you're in a situation where you're still basically the bank owns your property?
Well, so for the motor vehicle, it's $10,000 worth of equity or net worth.
Okay.
So that'd be fair market value minus debt.
Gotcha.
So if you've just bought a car, it's actually upside down.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd take a while before you have any kind of net worth built up in that motor vehicle. Even if you're a renter, you still have household goods and furnishings. You have a motor vehicle. Jewelry, used jewelry prices up to $5,000.
Get some jewelry.
Yeah. There's a $2,400 miscellaneous for non-bankruptcy situations. But in bankruptcy situations, that turns into a $15,000 miscellaneous that you could use to protect extra motor vehicle, cash, jewelry. There's one thing, at least one thing, where there's no dollar limit worth of protection.
Is it love?
It's love.
It has to be love.
It's retirement accounts.
Okay, so they can't mess with your retirement.
Cannot miss. There is no dollar limit to how much you can have in retirement.
It's refreshing to know that people are staying away from my retirement account.
Yeah, so that's where you need to hide all your
hands
money.
off. Yeah, just tuck it all in that.
Yep.
Oh, that's really good to know. So now, the way I've looked at bankruptcies, at least with our conversations over the years, it's always seemed to me like you'd be foolish to not file for bankruptcy.
Sometimes.
I mean, it just in a lot of situations, it seems like that's the most intelligent decision one could make when it comes to asset protection.
Sometimes. And people ask, is there a minimum amount you have to owe to file bankruptcy? And the answer is no. There's no minimum amount. There's no requirement you be bankrupt to file bankruptcy, interestingly enough.
That is interesting.
And it just depends. If you're making minimum wage and you owe $15,000 on a credit card or repossessed vehicle, there's no way you can afford that.
Right.
Even though that's, relatively speaking, maybe not that much.
Yeah.
But if you're making minimum wage,
it's not much if you're talking to Elon, sure. But if you're talking to you or myself, not you, but myself, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money, yeah.
Yeah, that's not insignificant.
So people make fun of attorneys because sometimes we parse words, but we have to parse words when it comes to like Social Security benefits. So the way the statute's written is what is protected is your right to receive Social Security benefits.
Okay. So that's protected is my right to receive.
To receive.
Not the Social Security itself.
Well, but when somebody's been declared disabled, they receive back pay. Right?
Right.
Okay, but what is protected is your future right to receive.
Okay, so that's
not money that is traceable to.
Okay.
So the future payments of Social Security, disability, or old age is protected, but the back pay is not.
Right. So you won't get necessarily the money that's owed to you, but
it's just not protected from creditors.
Right.
So
they have access to it.
Yeah. So you have to be careful with the timing in a bankruptcy of when you file that.
That's interesting. It kind of goes from when you say asset protection at first, my mind instantly goes to, well, I got a couple $100 stuffed in a U-Band coffee can buried in my backyard. That to me has always been asset protection. But with things the way they are, with the dollar kind of in a situation where it's not necessarily looked at as the king currency anymore, and that value fluctuation, it's kind of scary to think about putting your assets in currencies. I mean, is there what would you recommend in the way of asset protection outside of actual like money?
During the when the pandemic started, there was talk of whether the dollar would lose its place as the reserve currency. In the 2008-09 great financial crisis, there was talk of the U.S. losing its reserve status as the world's reserve currency. It may be a basket of currencies instead, and none of that has replaced us. Now, cash money, that loses its purchasing power just because of inflation. So things that outpace inflation is actually the stock market.
Okay.
So I don't know if you listen to when the radio talks about housing prices across the country. If you ever listen to the business shows, they'll talk about housing prices across the country. You did this, did that. and they talk about the Case-Shiller Price Index of real estate. Well, Mr. Schiller is alive and well, writes a lot of books, and he studied real estate back to the 1300s in Amsterdam. And he will tell you that the price of real estate keeps pace with inflation. It's a commodity. The stock market beats inflation over time.
Really? Okay. So your best bet as far as investment or as far as like asset protection would be to put it in the stock market, essentially.
Yes.
So your best bet is to gamble. Got it. Because I mean, admittedly, any kind of as they say, any investment is a risk. You have to take the fear of loss.
Yes. But as a whole, if you go back to 1900 and you pick any 20-year period at random, and year by year or month by month, and how many of those 20-year periods has the stock market lost money? Do you know?
I would say at least a couple of them.
0.
Really, including the Depression
era.
Really?
There's no 20-year period the U.S. stock market's ever lost money. And if you look at 10-year periods, it's only lost money 10% of the time. But what they don't tell you is there's usually just a handful of stocks that make that money.
Sure, yeah.
So can you make a poor investment? Yeah, you can. But so you try to make a smart investment. So, Coca-Cola is pretty much a monopoly for carbonated beverages. Did you know Pepsi's got a monopoly in the snack food business?
I know they own Yum Brands and Frito-Lay.
They don't own Yum anymore, but they own Frito-Lay.
Okay.
Yeah, Yum was spun off about 20 years ago.
Gotcha.
But they own Frito-Lay, which is basically a monopoly in the snack food company. So, I mean, that's an easy guess. MasterCard and Visa are a duopoly. Do you know what MasterCard and Visa do?
Credit cards, or credit, essentially.
No. So. When you pay your credit card, who do you write the check to? Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Capital One.
Right.
You don't write the check to Visa.
It's true. So they just...
They're like toll booths on the credit highway. Huh. And when transactions go back and forth, they skim it off the top.
So their whole gig is, we just make money.
Yeah.
That's their whole gig.
That's their whole gig.
Wow.
They actually take no credit risk. So it's a duopoly. I mean, they are the two companies.
Sure.
So that's just, pretty smart. Doesn't take a whole lot of, brain power to say, those guys are probably going to make money from now on.
Mm-hmm. And, it's something that has been talked about a lot, especially recently. You see a lot of, people will look at the line and recently line go down, drastic. But then other places you'll go and it'll be a zoomed out picture of the same graph. And you'll see that it's actually grown exponentially. Mm-hmm. That drop is just a drop in the bucket. And so it's based on how closely you zoom into the line is the narrative that you can spin, essentially.
Yeah. So if you looking at short time frames, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 year, the market, it looks pretty irrational. Sure. But if you pull back and you look at 20 and 30 year time periods, I mean, the graph of the stock market goes straight up. Mm-hmm. So this is an area where most people say, well, gee, I don't know very much about this stuff. Right. And so the answer is we'll go talk to somebody who does know about it, talk to a financial advisor. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of good ones out there in Roswell and across the country. So talk to somebody whose job it is to know this stuff. There's individual stocks, there's certain risks, and how do you decrease those risks? Well, that's when you get an index fund. And so a financial advisor can discuss the pros and cons of each one of those and then, let you pick your poison.
Right. Now, as far as those like index funds go, I know that there are certain essentially baskets of investments. Mm-hmm. What's the, is there a lot of variety and do I have a choice in where my money goes, or is it specifically this index fund versus this index fund versus that? Is there...
There are more mutual funds than there are stocks at the New York Stock Exchange.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yes. Talk about information overload.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just found out the other day, there's an ETF. ETFs are similar, but not the same as mutual funds. Mm-hmm. There's an ETF that it does the exact opposite of what Cramer says to do.
Okay, so...
Jim Cramer?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. The ETF invests in the exact opposite of whatever he says.
So it just takes what he says and does the exact opposite.
Yeah.
You know what? That might actually be a genius move.
They make money, yeah.
He's been he's made some boneheaded choices over the course of his career.
Yeah, so there's a dizzying array of mutual funds available that are out there. And I couldn't go through all of them. That's why, they have financial advisors. But also, your financial advisor can steer you away from some of the other stuff that Wall Street does. Wall Street's a lot like Vegas. If there's something you want to bet on, they have a way to bet on it.
Sure.
And the house always wins.
Yeah, exactly. It's never going to be in your favor. But if you can skim some off the top for your future, that's definitely a plus.
Yeah. So when your investing time frame is 20 or more years, actually the stock market is a pretty safe place to be.
It sounds that way. It's just I think that volatility gets people. Obviously it makes people nervous.
It is. It does, and that's in volatility. And if you read things about investing, often volatility is misused as risk, and they're not the same.
Okay, so what's the difference?
So the price of the stock market in the short term goes up and down, especially since the tariffs,
Sure.
That's volatility.
Right.
Okay, well, if the stock market has never lost money in any 20-year period, that's pretty low risk.
It's a low risk for sure. So it's take the volatility and accept the risk, essentially.
Yeah, so I see volatility as opportunity.
Now, I can't help but there's a famous clip from The Simpsons.
Okay.
Where Bart goes, "This is the worst day of my life," and Homer goes, "The worst day of your life so far." So my question is, you say it's never in any 20-year period gone down, but I say so far, because if we go into a crisis situation, everything essentially crashes. Or has the risk of crashing.
Yeah, so in the crash of 2000, 2001, the stock market lost like 40%, but it came back. Mm-hmm. In the great financial crisis of 08, 09, lost 50%, but it came back really fast then.
It did come back surprised, but then again, that was also the too big to fail, era, and essentially, bailing out the big banks.
So there will always be, ups and downs to a lesser extent. There will always be ups and downs to a greater extent. That's actually been since 08 or 09 since we've had a major stock market correction.
And that includes COVID.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So, we're due for a big one. We haven't had a big one in a while.
Right.
But eventually it comes back. It's just a cycle. The capitalism works. And so you have capitalism in the USA. We have the rule of law. And that's what makes the economy work. India may be democratic, but they don't always have the rule of law.
Mm-hmm. So if you look at a situation like the Great Depression, so if we take that, that bubble in itself, we did bounce back, but it took the New Deal, it took emotions from outside of itself in order to get it back to where it was.
It took World War II.
It took an entire, world war, essentially. So
to bring us out of it.
And that's kind of a terrifying prospect. It's like, my money's safe, but what about the world around me?
Well, we won't have something that prolonged and deep, I don't think. We haven't had one since that's been that prolonged and deep, because the world has become more integrated. Yeah. The financial markets are a whole lot different. Back then they were run on the banks and things. Mm-hmm. And that's why nowadays banks can have no more than a 3-day holiday, right?
Right.
That comes from the Great Depression.
See, and I thought it was 2, but it's good to know it's 3. So that's actually a Depression era holdover, essentially.
Yeah, so they can be closed on a Friday or Monday, but 3 days is the most they can be closed, because we want people to have access to their money.
Sure.
Yeah.
And that's another situation where if you aren't don't have your money diversified or in other places, if there's a run on banks, they don't necessarily have all your money all at once.
Well, we thought that was going to happen in the 08-09 financial crisis. There are times on Mondays, we were not sure the banks would open.
Right.
And, that was a pretty bad time back then. And probably, won't have another one like that, for another 60, 70 years.
Sure.
But there will always be, some kind of cycle to go through. But that's That's just part of the cycle. It's a buying opportunity.
And that's because I mean every piece of information I've heard from any kind of financial advisor over the last 3 months has been we're kind of nosediving. We're heading into it. We're heading into another situation, much like 08, where we're going to have more than 1/4 of negative GDP growth.
There's some things that point to that, and there are some things that don't point to that, and that's why in economics it's called the voodoo science. It's just hard to predict. So economics is very difficult to predict. Maybe the Fed did engineer a soft landing, don't know. So right now there's signals that go both ways of heading towards recession or not going towards recession.
Or pulling the nose up right at the last
minute. Yeah. So the good thing about a 401k is you dollar cost average. Your money goes in every month. You don't really think about it. And that's a good thing because it keeps you from making emotional decisions.
Yeah. I'm very much a creature of impulse. They get me every time. So yeah, if you're not the one making the emotional decision, then it's the money's going to go whether you're happy about it or sad about it.
Yeah. So if again,
it's tough love.
Yeah. The tech wreck of 2000, it went down for 2 years, and that was a great buying opportunity. Yeah, 08, 09 was a great buying opportunity when the market's 50% off, and so if you have that kind of viewpoint, it makes those periods a little bit easier.
I have had that thought dwell in my head as I'm watching kind of the news and stuff. I'm like, if Elon keeps screwing up, I might actually be able to score some Tesla stock. If he just keeps screwing up for just a few more months, I might actually be able to afford a share or two. So it's volatile. There's risks involved, but that is your best bet as far as protecting your assets is putting them into stock markets, into ETFs, into as many different areas of that as you can.
Well, as long as you have the long-term mindset, you'll be fine. If you got a 6-month mindset, that's not a place to be.
As the kids say these days, diamond hands. You have to hodl. Have you not heard that?
Not heard that.
So with Bitcoin, with a lot of the crypto investment, what they'll say is don't pull. You have to have diamond hands. Keep your money invested. Hope for the long haul. And then they'll use the term hodl, which is just hold, but with the D and the L switched because they have to be weird because it's the internet. So they say to hodl.
Well, Bitcoin is not something I'm invested in. It's not something I'd recommend.
I did buy a significant amount of Hawk-Tuah coin, so I feel like that was a mistake.
Well, remember, retirement accounts are protected by state law. Nobody can touch them. So, if you got a 401k, max that baby out gradually. I mean, the easiest way to max that out is when you get a raise, just put the raise in there. I mean, you didn't have that to begin with. And so just until you max it out. There's Roth IRAs that are available depending on your income level. It's another place to hide money. So the retirement accounts, there is no cap on how much moolah you can protect.
401ks too, they make it easy to leave it alone because of the amount of tax that you're going to pay or fees that you're going to pay trying to pull out early.
There's penalties for pulling out early. You should never pull out your 401 to pay bills, credit cards, or anything else. You file bankruptcy before you do that because the bankruptcy protects your retirement. So yeah, never pull that money out to pay bills.
That's good advice too, because the first place I've heard a lot of people, in my level of income, have said is in emergency situations. I.e., I had a friend who recently had to handle end-of-life funeral expenses for their father. They ended up using part of their 401k to pay for those expenses. And that seemed like, at the time, the most viable option. But having this knowledge, that's if I'd known that then, that's vital. So.
Well, and you can pay the loan back, but the problem is the money's not in there growing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if it's not actually actively making you more money, then you're not doing yourself any good.
So so I started a Roth also years and years ago when it first became available. And then as part of my retirement planning, just about the time of COVID, I started moving some of the 401k money into the Roth. So anytime you convert the money over, that's a taxable event because you're taking money out of the retirement account. And even though you're just converting it, you're not putting it in your back pocket, that's a taxable event. So by choosing how much to convert, it controls my tax bill, right? I mean, you move $500,000, you're going to have a big tax bill. You know, you move $500, you have a low tax bill. But think about the tax bill. When you make your 401k contribution, you get a tax break for the year of your contribution, right? So in the future, when you retire and take your 401k out, you're going to pay income tax. You're going to pay income tax at the highest tax rate in the country. It's called the ordinary income tax rate.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
So
that's the highest possible rate. So it doesn't. There's not a set amount. It's just whatever that rate happens to be. That's
it's the same tax rate as your paycheck. It's the highest tax rate in the country. So you're basically writing your 401k is an IOU to the IRS.
Cool.
And that's why I converted mine little by little to the Roth, because now it's going to come out tax-free in the future.
So put your money in your 401k and then move your money from your 401k to a Roth IRA.
Eventually, yeah.
This is a dance we're doing here.
If you don't know the rules, you can't play the game.
And this is why you need a financial advisor, somebody in the know, somebody who can actually put your money to work for you.
These guys, they go to school, they study, they have continuing education, I believe. So that's what their job is to study this stuff.
Sure.
And there's a lot of people I know that either A, aren't interested in it, or B, it's just like, well, it's just over my head. I just don't have the time. You know, I'm focusing on my kids, my career, my washing the car. And so I want somebody who studies this stuff to tell me about this stuff.
It makes sense. You know, you're walking through life blind. You need a sighted guide to help make those decisions for you.
Yeah. So, if you don't know the rules, you can't play the game. So find out what the rules are.
There you go. So that's some great advice. Was there anything else that we wanted to touch on today, as far as like asset protection, as far as like where people can put their assets?
So there's a list of this is what you get to keep. So if you own something and it ain't on the list, you can't keep it. So the reason when we go into business, we make an LLC is it protects us as individuals from the business debts.
Sure. It's limited liability.
Right. So it shields the individual from the business debts. But when the liability comes from a different direction, let's say Sean has a car wreck. Sean gets sued, the insurance doesn't cover it, whatever. And they're going to ask you, hey, Sean, do you own any stocks and bonds? You got a brokerage account? Oh, it's more than the exempt amount in the statute. Give us everything over the exempt amount. Oh, because you own stock in Google? Yeah. Amazon? Yeah. Oh, do you own any LLCs? Yes, I do. Fork that baby over. That LLC is not an exempt asset.
See.
Yeah. So if you have assets, investments that are over and above the exempt amount, trusts are not really asset protection vehicles unless you give up control. LLC is obviously not an exempt asset. Limited partnership is the only investment vehicle that I found that's an asset protection vehicle.
Okay.
But trusts are not asset protection vehicles unless you give up control of the trust. And most people aren't willing to do that.
Yeah, because who wants to usurp control?
Yep.
So we've covered a lot today. I feel like, sometimes when I think about, asset protection or assets in general, that meme where with just all the numbers and the figures are flying at you, and I'm just sitting there with a 1,000-yard stare. So if folks want more information, if they want to have a sit down with you, maybe you can go over some of this more in depth. How do they reach out to you?
So bristoloffice.net and 655284, we can talk about bankruptcy protection, non-bankruptcy protection. Some of the things we're doing for older couples is if one of them may have to go into a nursing home, we're doing post-nuptial agreements.
Okay.
So if a person goes into a nursing home and they're going to apply for Medicaid to help pick up the cost differential, then they have to spend their assets down to $2,000. And that includes retirement accounts. But if the husband and wife do a post-nup and they split their retirement accounts 50-50, then only the spouse going into the nursing home has to spend their money down. The non-nursing home spouse can protect their assets.
Oh, I see. I feel like you just made a bunch of guys in our listening areas ears perk up when you said post-nuptial. Like, wait, we can do that? It's not too late?
Not too late.
Well, Matt, thank you so much for your time. We covered a lot.
Thank you, Sean.
Reach out, 625-5284, BristolLawOffice.net. He'll get you scheduled with some time in the office, and they'll go over things with you.
And have a great week.
Absolutely. Appreciate you,
Thank you.
being here. 5 minutes away from 8 o'clock, let us get you up to date with some local news.
Now for your Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. Artesia Public Schools has hired a familiar face to take over as athletic director. Jeremy Maupin has replaced Brian Taylor as Artesia's AD as of June 2nd. However, neither Maupin nor Superintendent Darian Jaramillo are talking about why Taylor was let go. Maupin will remain the head football coach. Jaramillo had brought up the potential change last month here on Good Morning Artesia, but there was no official statement or recognition of the change by the school system. Taylor has been reassigned as assistant principal at Artesia Junior High School. The Bureau of Land Management will increase fees beginning July at Rob Jaggers Campground and Valley of Fires Recreation Area in Lincoln County, as well as the Haystack Mountain and Mescalero Sands North Dune off-highway vehicle areas in Roswell. The fee adjustments aim to address the costs associated with maintaining and improving facilities and infrastructure necessary to support a growing number of visitors. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
At Richland Motors, it's never been easier to sell or trade your current car, truck, or SUV for a newer model to hit the road in. Even if you don't purchase from Richland, they want to buy your vehicle for top dollar. But if you do buy from Richland, don't forget, they're the home of the powertrain warranty for life. That's a whole lot of confidence for you. See Richland for details. 2nd and Sycamore and 1309 Southeast Main.
Steep Street. Sheep Street Silver and Stones is Roswell's newest full-service jewelry store. They offer a complete selection of jewelry, including gold, silver, turquoise, bridal sets, and fine jewelry. They also offer lapidary, repairs, and complete custom design. Shop Sheep Street Silver and Stones, 3020 North Main in Roswell, across from Blake's. Sheep Street Silver and Stones. Hard to say, easy to love.
Sure, you can inspect your own roof, get out that rickety ladder, crawl around up there and try to spot the problem until... Or you could call the experts at Do Right Roofing. Do Right Roofing has quality products for any type of roof. They can even install seamless gutters. Do Right Roofing will inspect your roof and give you a free estimate fast. Keep your feet on the ground. Call Do Right Roofing today.
575-623-2273. That Do Right. Do your roof right.
Find them fast in names and numbers.
If you're missing a tooth or several teeth, a dental implant may be the ultimate solution. Implants look and feel so much like real teeth that you probably forget you have an implant. Maupin & Brown Dentistry is one of New Mexico's most experienced implant providers, with literally thousands of implant patients who are absolutely delighted with the results. Call Maupin & Brown today for an evaluation. You'll be surprised how affordable implants can be. Maupin & Brown, your choice for experienced, state-of-the-art dentistry.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The Goodyear Rubber Company researched and concluded that shoes wear out faster on the right foot than on the left. To fix this, just walk backwards for half the day. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning, 1 minute away from 8 o'clock. Hey, real quickly, wanted to let you know that, and obviously you know this, things outside are really heating up. So it's time to get your pool summer ready. And Mays Lumber Company in Roswell, they've got everything that you need. In fact, BioGuard pool generators, regular pool chemicals, and all the accessories. And they can even test your water. So get all your BioGuard needs filled and be summer ready and save with Mays Lumber Company. It's 115 South Virginia in Roswell. Stay tuned. Next hour, we're going to be sitting down with the folks from Outreach Service of America, talking about their organization and all that they do to help out folks in our area that are in need when they need it the most. That's definitely a service that is appreciated because we are definitely a community in need. So we'll chat with them coming up here in just a few moments on A Morning Without Mike Winters on 106.5 KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. Stay tuned.
Your home for Sean Hannity in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. A tumultuous weekend in Los Angeles as rioters face off against police and National Guardsmen in L.A. The violence broke out after ICE agents enforcing federal immigration law conducted a series of raids. Cars were overturned and set on fire. Major thoroughfares blocked. There was looting, rocks, bottles, other objects hurled at police. President Trump is defending his deployment of the National Guard.
We're going to have troops everywhere. We're not going to let this happen to our country. We're not going to let our country be torn apart.
Downtown Los Angeles declared an unlawful assembly area by police. The president's new travel ban is in effect as of today.
The new proclamation prohibits travel to the U.S. by citizens from 12 mainly African and Middle Eastern countries. It also imposes heightened restrictions on people from 7 other countries who are outside the U.S. and don't hold a valid visa. The ban is the latest move in the president's escalating campaign of immigration enforcement and was quickly denounced by groups that provide aid and resettlement help to refugees. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Ukraine says Russia launched 479 drones overnight, the largest nighttime drone attack of the war. Ukraine's Air Force says 20 missiles of various types were also fired at different regions of Ukraine. The UN says such attacks have killed more than 12,000 Ukrainian civilians since the start of the war 3 years ago. A recent escalation in aerial attacks has coincided with a renewal of Russian battlefield drives on eastern and northeastern parts of the roughly 620-mile front line. Watching Wall Street this morning, the Dow is down 103 points, the Nasdaq trading 51 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Iran threatens to reduce cooperation with the UN's nuclear watchdog should a resolution of non-compliance be approved by the body's Board of Governors.
The resolution, if passed, would accuse Iran of being in non-compliance for the first time in almost 20 years. It would also carry the threat of an eventual referral to the UN Security Council. It follows a report from the IAEA last week which cited a general lack of cooperation from Iran and raised concerns over secret atomic work and undeclared nuclear material in areas which have long been under investigation.
That's BBC's Bethany Bell. Tropical storm Barbara continues to strengthen off Mexico's Pacific coast, expected to become a hurricane at any time. The storm was forecast to stay out at sea, although heavy rainfall could cause flooding and mudslides along the western coast of Mexico. News and analysis at townhall.com. Seems that somebody's zebra went missing in Tennessee.
The Rutherford County Sheriff says Ed is the zebra, not the sheriff, says Ed was captured Sunday in a pasture. He was airlifted by helicopter to an animal trailer. The zebra had been on the loose since the last day of May. He'd been seen running along an interstate before disappearing into the woods, and nobody seems to know where old Ed came from. Ed quickly, however, became an instant hero on the internet. Jason Walker reporting. 2 people were killed by falling trees. Line of severe storms pushed across the south over the weekend. Those storms downed trees and power lines, brought heavy rainfall and gusty winds. PowerOutage.us reporting that roughly 150,000 people were without power as of yesterday morning across the south. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel wishing, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The deuce.
Of a morning without Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Monday. Welcome back to the work week. Hope your kids are enjoying your summer. Snot-nosed sons of guns. The voice that you're hearing that just deuced it for you is none other than our newest cohort here in the land of Pecos Valley Broadcasting, Digger Wells.
Good morning. How's it going?
Good. How are you doing this morning?
Adjusting to morning.
Yeah, it definitely takes some time. Have you had your caffeine injection yet?
I have not yet, simply because I'm not sure that it's really good for me to drink a bunch of coffee right off the bat when I wake up.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes those midday office naps extra hard.
Yeah.
When the caffeine starts kicking in at 10, you're like, I just wanted a couple minutes of sleep.
Right.
I can't make it happen. I do something kind of weird. I was a coffee person for the longest time. When I went keto, I switched to bulletproof coffee.
Okay.
Which is, just basically butter and, maybe like a mid-chain triglyceride, like a coconut oil or something along those lines. MCL oil in the coffee. And since then, coffee sort of lost the magic.
Really?
Yeah, unless I do it keto style. Unless I actually do it with the butter. I really, really love bulletproof coffee. The way it tastes, it's kind of like a nuttiness. The butter really adds to it. So I kind of fell in love with it. But the problem is, if you're not on keto, it's basically a fat bomb first thing in the morning. I'm not trying to do that.
Yeah. I'm not sure my doctor would want me consuming more butter.
Up your butter intake.
Yeah.
But so coffee sort of lost its luster for me. So what I've been doing lately, and I've definitely caught some sideways glances for this. I enjoy a nice cup of broth in the morning.
like beef broth, chicken broth?
Beef or chicken broth, some kind of stock,
Really?
maybe a bouillon cube. Something warm, because I don't like tea that much. Tea
Right,
always feels
okay.
kind of weak to me unless I have stuff to add to it, like milk and some other stuff.
Right.
But broth just kind of hits you, in the sweet spot. You get a little salt injection, your sodium's up. No caffeine or anything, but it's warm. It heats the throat up and kind of gets me ready for talking.
Does it help with your hunger? I mean, does it make you feel a little bit full?
Yeah, it does. Like when I leave here, most mornings that I do that, if for like lunch or whatever, I won't usually eat, or
Really?
at least what I will eat is something light. Because I've kind of put a base coat, if you will.
Well, you need to get you one of those big old school vacuum thermoses with your broth that you could carry around tucked under your arm.
But if I do that, it has to have a tag on it or a sticker that says, "Yes, this is in fact broth."
Right. But then we could make a contest of it as you come in, and then Mike has to guess, is it a beef or chicken day?
Yeah, nice. There you go.
Yeah.
Just everybody can decide. That's how you have fun in the morning. You gotta make fun with it. So the plan is this week that Mr. Wells going to be filling in for my show over on 92.9 The Brand. He already started this morning. He's actually on, I believe, as we speak. He's magicking. He can be in several places at once. But Mr. Wells is also the head mind behind Mind Probe Trivia.
That's right. A lot of people have seen us around town. We've been doing this a few years now, the trivia thing, and it's been going pretty good. We've got some regular venues that we hit, and it's been picking up. We're really enjoying it.
Do you write your own material? Because I got to imagine when you're working in the world of trivia, every answer is just a Google away. So you
Right.
got to go a couple of layers deep if you want to have trivia that's going to be challenging and actually evoke a competition. So do you when you get like a trivia question, do you work a scenario around it like a game show host would, or do you just present trivia?
Well, so the way we do it, or the way I do it, and I've seen some other trivias, everybody does it a little different, but like any trivia I come to, we have 6 rounds, and each round I'm going to ask about 15 questions, somewhere around there. But for whatever round, I'll have 150 questions for each round, and I kind of read the audience. If I ask a question and everybody has a dumb blank stare on their face and nobody knows it, then I'll start asking some easier questions. And if I'm asking questions that are a little easier and everybody's getting it, then I'll start kind of asking a little harder
Stepping
questions.
it up, yeah. So you have to read the room and kind of gauge.
Yeah.
But that's the other thing too, is difficulty is in the mind of the beholder, essentially. Because if somebody, I'm that kind of person that sits at home and just watches useless fact videos. And so I know a lot of things about a lot of things.
Right.
But not anything that's actually valuable.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, a wealth of useless information. I'm kind of that way too. But.
So I got to imagine you run into those mavericks in the trivia world. They come in, the know-it-alls.
Well, they do, and see that's the beauty of it is I view every trivia night as a challenge. Is whenever I ask a question, I want about half the room to get it right. And so and I'll know there's certain teams, and the teams bring in ringers. Like if they know I'm doing 80s, they got people from work that they'll bring in, we got to get the 80s guy, or if I'm doing country music, they'll get so teams bring in ringers, but that's always a fun challenge for me is I never want a team to just get every single question right.
Right.
So if I see somebody is really killing the questions about a certain subject, I might kind of tweak the subject a little bit just to throw them off and, yeah, so it's a challenge for me. I enjoy it. To me, it's kind of like I'm playing against them, So
yeah, because you're trying to not necessarily it's essentially the house. You're the house.
Yeah,
and you're trying to maintain your integrity.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So where do you do these? Is it just kind of?
We have a regular every Wednesday. We're at the American Legion Post 28. It's up on Montana, just a little bit north of the Aquatic Center, up by the Elks Lodge and the Joy Center, and that's every Wednesday night at 6:30. And for those of you, you do not have to be a member. For those who are unfamiliar, and they have alcohol there. It's a bar, but then we also usually have a food truck that comes and hangs out. Nice. So there's food available. On random Thursdays, and it's been a little sparse lately because they've had other events booked, but starting out, I think here in a couple weeks, we have 4 weeks back-to-back. We're at the Liberty on Thursdays.
Okay.
On the first and third Friday of the month, we are at the Eagles Lodge, and that is a membership place, but if you know somebody who's a member, you can come in and join us there.
Or, slip a $5 to the door guy.
Yeah. Yeah, and we have a couple other venues that we're working with. We just finished up a couple months at Peppers on the patio.
Okay.
We did that last fall and again this spring, and that was kind of nice. But then the weather starts getting too hot, and I really don't want to sit out there. Well, nobody else wants to sit out there for 2 hours and sweat.
Sure.
So, but hopefully we'll be back there in the fall. Okay. And we had an event a couple of months ago at Pecos Flavors Winery, like a Sunday afternoon family-friendly trivia.
Okay.
And so hopefully we'll have some more events like that. We had a trivia tournament recently, a Star Wars trivia tournament with a cash prize.
Okay.
And that was a fundraiser for Roswell Night Skies. I'm not sure if you know Mark Salas, who's doing the movies in the park.
Movies Under the Stars, absolutely.
And we're already talking about a second tournament, probably in the August-September area, that will be Harry Potter related.
Okay. All right. See, now you're talking my language.
Yeah.
So now what's kind of cool about this is about the Mind Probe system, so to speak, is you're kind of like entertainer for hire.
Yes.
You can do events. You can come and let's say you have a party coming up and you want to liven it up with maybe some trivia, or you've even talked about diversifying to doing maybe some karaoke nights.
Yeah, karaoke. We've looked into some music bingo. When we went to Kansas City, which is where I'm from last year, we found a bar that was doing music bingo, and it was kind of interesting where they play a song and you have a bingo card with songs on it, and so you fill out your card depending on the songs that they play, and we're kind of working on that concept.
Okay.
And but we have some other things we do, like in between rounds of trivia, we play a little Cards Against Humanity. So that's always a little fun and a little interesting. And believe it or not, we have a family-friendly version that we take to certain venues, and then of course we have the unleaded version that goes, or I should say the leaded version that
Right.
we use at some of our other venues that are more.
It's a little blue.
It does, yeah. We had to take some of the worst cards out of there, mainly for my benefit, because I don't. So what we do is, we give everybody a bunch of answer cards, and then I'll ask a question in between rounds, and each team will bring up their answer. But then I have to read the winners, and so it was kind of like, there's certain things I'm not sure I want to say in a room full of 50 strangers,
Now doesn't feel like the time to be anti-Semitic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. Yeah. So and I pull out a lot of the political ones just because I don't want to. There's always the chance you're going to offend the wrong person. So
now I heard a rumor that you might be working with the folks that do the Roswell trivia night or through the library.
Oh, the Knowledge Bowl.
Yes, the Knowledge Bowl.
Now you see, this is the horrible thing about mornings is my brain is not up to speed yet. But we had talked with folks with the Knowledge Bowl about maybe bringing that back, and instead of them trying to host the trivia and the fundraising aspect, doing it for a fundraiser, maybe we'll handle the trivia and they can handle the
fundraising aspect.
The fundraising aspect of it, yeah. So hopefully we'll have some more information on that soon. We talked to them, and I think we're planning an event maybe also for this fall. So,
very cool.
So we've got some things in the work. Our finger in a lot of pies.
Yeah, you're quite the busy man. You like to keep yourself as involved in as many projects as possible.
I like to give the illusion of being busy all the time because I'm still one of those people who very much enjoys my leisure and likes to just go home and sit and Netflix and chill all night. But we're keeping busy. We're keeping busy.
I'm very much that same way. I have to force myself to not. There's one spot on my couch that it's got an indent. It's my spot, and it's just perfect. The AC is just perfect. It's right. And I don't want to do anything else.
Yeah,
that could be my whole weekend. But then the kids are like, seriously, and so then I have to get up and do stuff. But very cool. So keep yourself busy. Obviously, we're going to be hearing you mornings throughout this week. On 92.9 The Brand. Make sure to tune in for Mornings with Digger Wells. And, of course, and guests, because you're kind of building a bit of a Digger Wells cinematic universe, so to speak.
Well, for those of you that know trivia, you know my compatriot in crime, Gina. She's going to be the diva on when I'm doing this thing. So it's Digger and the Diva.
Digger and the Diva.
Yeah, and anybody who knows her, that fits her.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So it should be fun. But we really appreciate this opportunity, and thank you for letting me come in and keep an eye on your show for you for a week. And
Absolutely. We
really appreciate it.
We appreciate having you on board. We're the thing with the teams at Pecos Valley Broadcasting is our boss. I'm pretty sure nothing on this planet makes him happier, giddier, or more excited than getting 16 projects done with like 4 people.
Right.
It's exhausting, but it really does. He really enjoys that. So having another person on board that is excited, willing to learn, and eager. I think that's the other thing is eager to get out there and cut your teeth and try some new things that are maybe a renaissance of some old things. And I dig that.
Yeah, well, you and I talked about this. We're both kind of old school radio fans. I think Gene's the same way too. But we're kind of fans of the old school radio. The morning drive time shock jock type thing. So it's kind of nice to. I love the fact that we're in Roswell because in a big city it's all corporate and you have rules and.
Oh, come on now, guys.
Here it's kind of like, hey, dude, just entertain people, right?
As long as you don't get a phone call, everything is fine.
Yes, as long as there's no FCC fines involved, go for it.
That's right. And we skirt the edge. We're careful about it.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see some things moving forward with some events at a local tavern. With Mornings with Mike Winters after dark. Some other things. Maybe get Mind Proof trivia involved.
I think we could have a good. We hang out outside of this from time to time and. We always seem to have some pretty interesting conversations, and I've thought to myself, man, if we had a microphone in front of us right now...
We'd be arrested.
Exactly.
Well, Digger, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And again, that's all this week mornings, 6 to 10 on 92.9 The Brand. And he'll be, kind of coming in here and bantering with us, filling in some time every now and again as well.
That's right. Well, thanks for having me on, and thanks for mentioning my trivia. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Hope to see you folks out there Wednesday night at the American Legion.
There you go. Looking forward to it. Hey, 19 minutes after 8 o'clock. First, let me give you the rundown of this hour of the program. We had a bit of a interesting situation, but the person who is going to be on this hour is on their way. They'll be here in just a few minutes. That is Miss Sonia Bolaños with Outreach Service of America. They got an amazing program that she wants to tell you more about. We'll talk about that coming up here in just a few minutes. Right now at 19 minutes after 8 o'clock, let us get you up to date with the local weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Cold front now off to our south, but we have a lot of warm and humid air over the area. Showers and thunderstorms will be possible today. Some of those storms could be severe with large hail and damaging wind. Our afternoon high today in the mid-80s. Showers and thunderstorms, pretty good possibility overnight with mid-60s, and then more showers and thunderstorms on Tuesday, mid-80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Let me get the refresher refreshed. Currently, we are at 71 degrees round Roswell Way. Humidity is at 63%. Winds out of the north at about 10 miles an hour. The barometer is 30.9 inches with a dew point of 58 degrees. For today, we are looking at scattered showers, thunderstorms after 3 p.m. Some of those storms could be severe, mostly cloudy. A high of around 84 degrees. Winds out of the north 5 to 10 miles an hour. Becoming southeast later in the afternoon. Your chance of rain for today is 30%. Same thing for tonight, 30% chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms, mainly before 3 a.m. Some of those storms could be severe, mostly cloudy, getting down to 64. Once again, 30% chance of rain on for tonight. For tomorrow, we got showers and thunderstorms likely. Look at that. Who knew? But tomorrow is actually your best chance of the week to get some actual precipitation because we're looking at a 70% chance of rain. Mostly before noon. Some of those storms could be severe, mostly cloudy, and high of around 87 degrees. The new rainfall amounts less than 1/10 of an inch, except higher chances in thunderstorms. As mentioned, that's your best chance for rain. It kind of divvies off after that. 50% chance of rain for your Tuesday night, scattered showers and thunderstorms, mostly before midnight. Then a 30% chance of rain, mostly afternoon on Wednesday. We'll see what happens there. 88 degrees for the high. And then it's back up the thermometer because, yes, it is summertime in Roswell. 95 for the high on Sunday under mostly sunny skies. 98 under sunny skies for your Friday. Sunny and hot with 101 for the high on Saturday and 100 for the high on Sunday. It's going to be a scorcher out there, so find yourself a nice shady spot. And hey, real quickly, wanted to remind you that each and every night throughout the summer, they're going to be holding movies in the park. The folks at Roswell Night Skies are showing a movie every single Friday night at the Rusty K Soccer Complex. That's over there at 1500 North Grand. The movies begin at sunset around 8:30 p.m. And this Friday, they're going to be showing the live action. I say live action because, let's face it, they're all still computer animated, but it's, I guess, more true to life, Mufasa. So those of you fans of The Lion King out there, come on out and check it out. And that's going to be happening this Friday night starting at sunset around 8:30 p.m. at the Rusty K Soccer Complex. For more info, visit roswellnightskies.org. That's roswellnightskies.org. 23 minutes after 8 o'clock, going to pause for a couple of moments. And after these, we'll be chit-chatting with the folks from Outreach Service of America on a morning without Mike Winters. Stay tuned.
Do you know what the hardest part of dealing with the roofer is? Just trying to get them on the phone. Jennifer here from Trustmark Roofing, and I want you to know that you can always trust Trustmark Roofing to answer our phone. Need a free roof inspection? Just call us at 575-755-ROOF, and we'll answer with a live person, a real human being. Have a roofing project already going with us and need to discuss it? Just call 575-755-ROOF, and we will answer the phone. No answering machine, no voicemails, and no weird robot automated attendant. That's because at Trustmark Roofing, we're all about relationships and treating people right. That's true for customers and vendors and insurance companies and employees. Anyone and everyone who comes in contact with our company. So if you have any roofing needs at all, trust Trustmark to treat you right and to answer the phone. Our number again is 575-755-ROOF, or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Lights, camera, action. Get superhero savings during our summer blockbuster sales event going on right now at Roswell Ford. Hey Roswell, you don't need to be a hero to pay zero. Drive home a new Ford with zero down and zero payments this summer. Plus, at Roswell Ford, everyone gets employee pricing. You heard right. At Roswell Ford, you pay what we pay on our huge inventory of new Fords. Stop stuck in your loan or lease and want out early? Roswell Ford can get you released, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth, regardless of make, miles, or condition. Don't let the credit villains keep you from driving your dream car. At Roswell Ford, getting approved is a possible mission, so you can pay what we pay. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to find the best car and get massive American-made savings and the best car buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford, because we'll do whatever it takes to make a deal. 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell. Call 575-623-3673 or online at roswellford.com. Interest accrues from date of sale on select vehicles. Trade balances refinanced to new loan. Subject to lender approval. Offers not combined.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Linen can absorb up to 20 times its weight in moisture before it feels damp. Now, you don't have to get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom anymore. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning, 25 minutes after 8 o'clock on a Monday morning without Mike Winters. And joining us in studio this morning from Outreach Service of America, Ms. Sonia Bolaños. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
That mic a little over there. There we go. Yeah, doing good. It's definitely been a Monday.
It sure has.
And here in your situation, that's understandable as well. It always happens too. Like, you know, I tend to wake up a couple hours in advance of whatever I have to do just to give myself a cushion of time. But I really like that cushion, and so I push it. I'm a cushion pusher. And so what ends up happening is I have to pack all my preparation for the morning into 5 minutes before I run out the door. I'm like, get this on. Go. Where's this? Where's my head at? So we all can finally woosah. Everything's good to go. We got our transportation modes in check, and all is good to go. But you're here today to talk about an awesome program that can save some people a lot of money this summer.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about the Energy Transition Act.
So it's the Senate Bill 489 that was passed this year through the governor of New Mexico. So basically what it is that she has opened up the solar energy for just everybody. Normally before you would have to purchase your solar panels, get them put on your roof, and that's how you would get the solar energy from it. But now they're actually producing or making some solar farms in different areas of New Mexico.
Okay.
And so for that, you just basically have to have an energy bill from either an electric bill from either XL Energy from our area, and either P&M, like in the Ruidoso, Albuquerque area, and then EPE, which is the El Paso Electric Company from Las Cruces.
Gotcha.
So if you receive your electric from any one of those electric companies, you would be able to qualify for the energy discount, and that can be up to 28% off on your electric bill.
That is not insignificant. So let me see if I can understand kind of what's happening. And I've seen these all over when you drive around New Mexico. And by the way, vacation season, if you're looking for something to do, just get out and see New Mexico, because there's so much cool stuff in the state.
Right.
Whether it's Sitting Bull Falls, whether it's Carlsbad Caverns, something that just takes you out there. But amidst all those vast fields, you see these solar arrays, essentially these acres of these solar panels that are set up. And New Mexico is really the best place for it. We have, I believe it's 312 days of sunshine on average every single year. So if you're not taking advantage of solar, then we're not doing it right. So if I understand this correctly, that energy is basically going into a bank that is established to kind of help everybody out. Is that correct?
Correct.
Because up until this point, the solar game is essentially pay to play. You have to get all your equipment, get it installed, and then you start seeing the solar savings.
That's correct.
Now, that's not to discourage that, because we want folks to go, get as off that, that system as possible to lessen the load and open up more energy for more folks. So if you can, absolutely go solar. But if you don't have the ability, if you live in an apartment complex, or if you're renting and you're not in a place where you can, install solar panels, you're kind of over a barrel until now.
That's correct.
So all you need is an energy bill. You just take that to your local energy office, I would assume. And
So you can reach us at either 575-244-6911, or you can also come by the office at 212 South Lee here in Roswell.
212 South Lee, and then
Correct.
you can help them through the process of going through the paperwork and getting everything filed to get that discount. Now,
Yes.
is this, as far, you said up to 28% off of your energy bill. Is that a one-time situation, or is that something that folks can do ongoing?
It's monthly. So it'll be a monthly discount that you get on your energy bill.
So it'll just be applied on your bill moving forward.
Yes.
Okay.
So basically what will happen is the process of it is where you will call us, or you can come by the office, like I said, and we can help you register for it or apply for it. So basically we would need your electric bill, the most current one. You cannot be more than $100 behind on your electric.
Gotcha. So you need to be caught up.
You need to be caught up with it. And then after that, we will, register you for it. And then it'll let you know which solar farm you will be connected to here from New Mexico.
Okay.
Because I know that there's some in Clovis already.
Right.
So some will be getting energy from there as well. So basically, anybody who has an apartment, a trailer, a house, even, if you're renting, you can, qualify
Apply
for it.
these savings.
Yes.
Now, so there's no income qualifications necessary. You don't have to be low income or no income in order to qualify. It's anybody, correct?
No, correct. So it does ask for your, annual income and like the amount of people that are in your household. Mm-hmm. But it also, when we submit your current electric bill in, it'll calculate and it'll let you know how much you're going to be saving on your bill.
So it's not necessarily the 28% across the board. If you are, let's say, a little higher income, you might not see as much of a savings as somebody who's a little lower income. So it's a scale. Well, that makes a lot of sense. I like the fact that you said that once you qualify, you get informed as to which solar farm you're associated with.
Yes.
That's kind of like, it reminds me of back in the day when you'd have like the Sally Struthers commercials, the Feed the Children. They would send you a picture of the child that you were saving.
Oh yes,
so you can kind of connect. This is cool. It's like I get a little note. That's my solar farm. And then you make up your own merch. Print up.
Right.
I'm part of the Chavez Solar Farm family. That's kind of fun. And that's definitely something that's been expanding all across New Mexico. You see these massive solar arrays. So this is a program that I feel like it can only get better from here. I mean, as the technology improves, as the ability to bank the energy that these solar panels provide improves, you're really going to see savings like this and even more savings. It's an exciting thing. But again, bring your current energy bill. Doesn't have to be, as long as you're not more than $100 behind on your bill, they can go through the process. It's a quick process too, correct?
Yes, it is. It does not take long at all.
About 5 minutes to
7 minutes
to go through everything and and let you know what you qualify for and how that can help you. Now, I am curious. Let's say there's folks who live in a situation like myself, for example. I don't pay my electric bill. I pay the park. It's baked into my lot rent. So I pay that portion as my electric bill. Would those folks be able to apply for these savings as well, or would they have to go to maybe the manager of their property?
So the manager of the property would have to be the one that applies for because it has to be under the person that's going to apply for the discount. It has to be under their bill.
Okay.
So it would be the manager of the RV parking or the trailer park, wherever it's at, it has to be under their name.
Okay, so essentially, if you live in an apartment complex and your electric bill is baked into your rent, in a lot of cases like apartments, trailer parks, places like that, go talk to your park manager or your manager of the property and let them know about this program, because they may not even know about it. And if this is an across-the-board savings and they're basically undertaking the entire facility's electric bill, this could be a significant savings for them.
Yes. And if you do not qualify for it, the only way that you will not qualify for it is if the solar farm is not available in your area.
Okay.
And so you'll get a notification that says you've been put on a waiting list, because there are several that are being produced right now, like I said. And so as soon as they're available, then, they'll be opened up. But it is a first come, first serve, since there is a limit to the solar panels that are out in the solar farms.
And there will be a capacity, at least for the time being. There is a point when you're cut off. Like you said, waiting list. That's essentially you're going to have to wait your turn.
Correct.
But that's why we're encouraging you now to get to these offices and get locked in, because if you're locked in now, it's savings that are going to continue on for the life of the program. So definitely earlier would behoove you to get signed up or to learn more information about this program. And again, you can learn more information by contacting your office. Correct? You guys have all the info that folks need to know. Is there any place online that folks can go to get more information?
Not at the moment. The flyer is the one that we have right now that has all the information on it. There will be flyers in different areas. I will be setting some up, leaving some there at the ISD office with them. And it also, if you do apply for LIHEAP, it does not affect your LIHEAP.
That was actually my very next question was, how is this going to affect folks who are with LIHEAP, who have worked with LIHEAP?
Yes.
Okay, so you can essentially have LIHEAP assistance and also qualify for this reduction in cost.
Correct.
I would imagine the LIHEAP people would appreciate it because that means they're paying less of your bill.
Right.
Just saying. So definitely it would behoove you to find out more information and to get signed up for this program. Again, it was Senate Bill 489. It's surprising to hear of any Congress or any Senate actually getting anything done. So props to them for that. We appreciate it. But again, if folks want more information, how do they get a hold of you? What's the phone number and where's the office?
You can call the office, which is 575-244-6911, or you can call my cell phone, 575-840-7450, or you can come by the office at 212 South Main. South Lee.
Excellent.
So we are on the corner of Alameda and South Lee.
Okay. I'm trying to, I try to, whenever somebody gives me a directional, like based on like this corner and that corner, I try to visualize it in my head. There you are. Okay.
Yes.
Now I see it now. So real easy to find. It's centrally located right there near the downtown area, kind of close to the historical district. If you're looking, or just hop on Lee and just start calling Sonia's name. I'm sure she's bound to.
Yes.
We're over here. So, but it would definitely behoove you to get involved with this program and do it quickly, because, like we said, there are solar farms that are being established, but that's a process that takes time. There's obviously obtaining the land, the regulations associated with it, getting the actual equipment installed, which is a not insignificant task. It definitely is an undertaking to kind of get these farms up and operational, and also tied into a grid that is collecting the power. That's another step in the process that takes some time. So if you want to take advantage of these savings right now is when you need to act. Give them a call at 244-6911, or you can call Sonia's cell directly at 840-7450, or stop by 212 South Lee and bring your current energy bill. Do they need proof of income, or they just need to report their income?
Just report it.
Okay. So, come with the knowledge of what you're making annually, how many people are in your house, and we can determine how much we can save you on your energy bill. And right now, it is a vital time. Obviously, electrical grids are stretched to the limit in a lot of cases, with folks running their ACs, nonstop. I have this one spot in my house that I call the cold vortex, and it's my favorite place because I have my AC right here, and I have one of those like shop fans, those high power fans, right in front of me. So it's like just this whirlwind vortex of cold air. And yes, I know it's selfish, but I pay my bills. It's fine. I feel like I should be able to enjoy the cold vortex. So with cold vortexes like yours, they're going to be a little pricier this summer. Might as well save some money.
Correct. And just, we've had some questions where people will ask, do the panels go on my roof? No, they do not. Like I said, it's a solar farm, so you won't have to worry about anything like that. I just, for example, I had this one individual that came in and was trying to apply for it, but because they already had solar panels on their roof, she did not qualify for it. But they had just purchased those panels, and it was like, she said, I think it was like $25,000 for it. Wow. And then like a couple of months later, the solar company went bankrupt.
Oh, no.
So she's still paying for the panels, but there's no
actual power getting to.
No.
So that's an interesting thing there. I never even thought about it. If you're on a solar system, not our solar system, but if you're on a system of solar energy, if that company goes under, you can't convert that energy to an elsewhere. I mean, I would think unless you know how to hack into the system and divert the energy that the solar panels are generating to another source.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm no engineer, and I don't know if y'all are, but that's crazy. $25,000 they invested, and the company just goes belly up.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no hope. There's no hope. So is that, now I know that we're at the beginning of this program. Is there room for expansion for ideas like that? Like, let's say somebody qualifies for this program, puts their name in the system, and then down the line says, I got a big backyard. I could house a few solar panels. Could they, I would think that at that point we could maybe establish like a co-op system, essentially, where, the power that you're generating goes into the grid and you're taking advantage of it, but so are your neighbors and the folks around you. That's, I think, really moving forward, the only way that it's going to be viable is we have to kind of work together as we build this bank of solar energy. So,
Right.
But yeah, get signed up now. Now is the time to do so. Again, 212 South Lee is the office, and you can call them at 244-6911 or 840-7450. Did we cover everything?
I think we did pretty much, yes.
Right. Just, folks, like we said, now is the time to act, because if you get on too late, you're stuck on a waiting list, and who knows how long that process is going to be before you can actually be join this program and be a part of the savings. So take advantage while you can. Ms. Sonia, thank you so much for your time.
No, thank you for having me here.
Absolutely, and here's hoping everything else goes just as smoothly as this morning's search for your keys.
Yes, right?
Maybe a little smoother.
I know.
Maybe just a little smoother.
It has to be better.
It's got to
From
be,
here.
right?
It's got to be better.
Knock on wood. It's got to be. Now that we've said it, it has to be.
Yes.
19 minutes away from 9 o'clock. Let us get you up to date with some local news.
Now for your Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. Artesia Public Schools has hired a familiar face to take over as athletic director. Jeremy Maupin has replaced Brian Taylor as Artesia's AD as of June 2nd. However, neither Maupin nor Superintendent Darian Jaramillo are talking about why Taylor was let go. Maupin will remain the head football coach. Jaramillo had brought up the potential change last month here on Good Morning Artesia, but there was no official statement or recognition of the change by the school system. Taylor has been reassigned as assistant principal at Artesia Junior High School. The Bureau of Land Management will increase fees beginning July at Rob Jagger's Campground and Valley of Fires Recreation Area in Lincoln County, as well as the Haystack Mountain and Mescalero Sands North Dune off-highway vehicle areas in Roswell. The fee adjustments aim to address the costs associated with maintaining and improving facilities and infrastructure necessary to support a growing number of visitors. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. 1 in 3 snake bite victims is drunk. 1 in 5 is tattooed. Hold my beer and check this out. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning, 17 away from 9 o'clock. Let us get you up to date with the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Cold front now off to our south, but we have a lot of warm and humid air over the area. Showers and thunderstorms will be possible today. Some of those storms could be severe with large hail and damaging wind. Our afternoon high today in the mid-80s. Showers and thunderstorms, pretty good possibility overnight with mid-60s, and then more showers and thunderstorms on Tuesday, mid-80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 16 away from 9 o'clock. 71 degrees around Roswell Way. Humidity is at 63%. Winds out of the north at about 10 miles an hour. Your barometer at 30.09 inches with a dew point of 58 degrees. Looks like we are finally going to get a little respite from the overwhelming heat of the last few days. I know I feel like I'm a broken record. Maybe I'm the one that's complaining. It's just what happens when you, and yes, stubbornly, don't have air conditioning in your car. Got that AC 440. which is why I try to go 40 miles an hour everywhere. So I'm glad there's no school zones right now. But for the rest of this week, or at least the first half, it's going to cool down with the clouds rolling in and storm chances gathering. Scattered showers and thunderstorms after 3 p.m. today. Some of those storms could be severe. It'll be mostly cloudy, a high of around 84 degrees. Winds out of the north 5 to 10 miles an hour, becoming southeast in the afternoon. Your chance of precipitation is 30%. For tonight, scattered showers and thunderstorms mostly before 3 a.m. Some of those storms could be severe. Mostly cloudy and a low of around 64 degrees. Winds out of the southeast between 5 and 10 miles an hour. Those becoming north in the evening. Your chance of rain for tonight is 30%. For tomorrow, the big rain day is coming. Scattered showers and thunderstorms, mostly afternoon. Some of those could be severe, mostly cloudy. 87 degrees for the high. So cooling off significantly from yesterday and from the weekend before. Winds out of the north 5 to 10 miles an hour, becoming south in the afternoon. Your chance of precipitation is 70%. New rainfall, though, not that much. Accumulation of maybe 1/10 of an inch, although higher if, we have thunderstorms. So keep your fingers crossed on that one. 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms on your Tuesday night, mostly before midnight. Some of those storms could be severe. Mostly cloudy, a low of around 63 degrees. Winds out of the northeast between 5 and 15 miles an hour, becoming south after midnight. Your chance of rain is, once again, 50%. The rain chances dwindle off after that because for your Wednesday, a 30% chance of showers, thunderstorms, getting back up to 88 degrees. Partly cloudy for your Wednesday night, 65 for the overnight low. Thursday, sunny skies, back up to 95, 98 for the high on Friday, and then straight back into triple digits, 101 for the high on Saturday, 100 for the high on Sunday. It's a good chance to get out there and enjoy maybe a nice swim. By the way, the Eastern New Mexico University Roswell pool is officially open for the summertime season. I'm looking forward to maybe enjoying a little evening swim. They do the family swim night on Tuesdays from, I believe it's 6 to 9 p.m., and it's $5 per person to enjoy a little night swimming or, swimming after the workday is done. You go and you grind and you make your money and, you get that paper, as they say, and go scoop up the kids and come on out to family swim nights. Always a good time at the Eastern New Mexico University Roswell pool. We'll just call that a free plug. 13 minutes away from 9 o'clock. Let us update you with your Red Apple Market Report.
All across America, this is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report.
Good morning. Stocks will open higher from Friday when all three major averages rose more than 1%. Stocks got a boost on Friday when hiring stayed strong, despite layoffs happening at some companies. The most new hiring was in healthcare. Ameriprise told CNBC hiring is holding up very well in spite of some slowing growth trends. With some good economic news and less bad, one stock analyst says we're kind of back to where we were in February, wondering about tariffs. President Trump says the U.S. and China will meet again this week in London, but car companies say they may have to halt production of cars and parts this summer if the U.S. and China don't agree on China shipping some rare earth minerals used to make those auto parts that the U.S. says China had agreed to do. But they may be foot-dragging on that to get the U.S. to ease restrictions on some exports to China. Used vehicle prices fell a little after many wanting a jump on price increases have now bought a pre-owned vehicle, but prices are still 4% higher than a year ago. The majority of Americans buy used cars. A Wall Street Journal column says the U.S. economy may be okay, especially if tariffs remain at lowered levels. With business, I'm Joe Connolly.
This is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report. Donate now to toysfortots.org, working year-round, delivering hope to children at Christmas time and beyond. In 2024, Toys for Tots provided over 30 million toys to nearly 13 million children in need. Donate now. Go to toysfortots.org. Since 1947, Toys for Tots has distributed 708 million toys to 314 million deserving children, working year-round. Toys for Tots. Donate now. Go to
Some wounds need expert care to heal properly.
At Artesia General Hospital's Wound Care and Hyperbaric Medicine Center, we use advanced treatments like hyperbaric oxygen therapy to help chronic wounds heal faster. If you or a loved one has a wound that won't heal, call 575-736-8235 today and take the first step toward recovery.
Do you want to improve the appearance of your smile or increase your self-esteem and confidence? Many people have already chosen to update their smile with veneers. Here at Carabelli Dental in Roswell, we work with our patients to understand their smile goals. With veneer treatment, we can eliminate gaps between teeth, solve the problems of stained teeth, and even perfect uneven or misshaped teeth. You owe it to yourself to have the smile you know is possible. Call us now.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental or call 575-622-4455.
Bob Reed Pest Control. Reliable, professional, and experienced. The technicians at Bob Reed Pest Control have been providing pest management services for over 50 years and will continue to set high standards for their customers. Protect your family's most important investment, your home, and protect your children and pets from the dangers of poisonous bugs and insects. Everyone at Bob Reed Pest Control are trained and knowledgeable in the latest pest management practices, offering effective treatment plans for each situation. Bob Reed Pest Control. Find them online, BobReedPestControl.com, or call 575-623-5344. Serving all of Southeast New Mexico.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The first toilet being flushed in a motion picture was in the movie Psycho. Mike thought it was Gone with the Wind. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning, 9 minutes away from 9 o'clock. By the way, here's another fun fact on Gone with the Wind. I just learned this last week. The producers of Gone with the Wind were fined $5,000 for the use of the word damn. You got a pretty good deal, honestly, because frankly, my dear, I don't think the producers gave a damn. 9 minutes away from 9 o'clock on a morning without Mike Winters. Mixmaster Mike off sowing his oats or whatever he's doing. Heading up towards the Colorado area to enjoy some time in some much cooler weather. Although joke's on him because we got some cool weather for these first few days. Am I right? Hey, if you missed any portion of today's program, you can always go back and check it out in its entirety over at ksvptv.com. Just click on the Mornings with Mike Winters tab. There you'll see the show in its entirety. And, of course, after the show, our the main brain of Mornings with Mike Winters, Ms. Jocelyn, she'll be cutting up those interviews and making them available to you so you can get up to date. By the way, in case you're just tuning in or in case you missed what we were talking about this hour, you definitely need to take advantage of that program because that up to 28% savings on your energy bill is significant, and that can definitely help you this summertime season. So once again, if you want to enroll in this program, it's as simple as a 5-minute enrollment. It's easy to qualify. All you need is your current electric bill, and you need to be at least no more than $100 behind. So if you are caught up, bring your power bill, answer a few questions, and you can sign up for this awesome program that could save you up to 28% on your energy bill. If you want more information, call 244-6911 or stop by 212 South Lee. Hey, speaking of time flying, I know it seems like we just started 2025, and at the same time, it feels like every day is an eternity. But, you know, time is a fickle construct, and we are just a little bit of time away from the big bad festival that makes Roswell a bit of a madhouse for a weekend. I'm talking, of course, about the UFO Festival. It is coming up July 3rd through the 6th in downtown Roswell. And there is a plethora of activities that are going to be happening all over the place at Pioneer Plaza, at the Chavez County Courthouse. Of course, Roswell Galacticon is going to be happening. Now, this year, with the inability to use the Roswell Convention and Civic Center, obviously we're having to make a few locational changes. So if you're looking for Galacticon or if you're looking for the Ufologist Invasion, that's actually going to be happening, same place it always does, at the International UFO Museum and Research Center. But we're going to have a lot of the main activities happening right in the heart of downtown Roswell. Some of those you're going to have to drive south for, some a bit north to be a part of those programs. But Galacticon going to be happening, I believe it all goes down at the same time. So it's running from Thursday through Sunday, July 3rd through the 6th. And that's going to be happening all over downtown Roswell. As we mentioned, Main Street's going to have activities. They're going to have their first annual Street Invasion Car Show, as well as the Mike and Ike Cornhole competition. I'm not sure if we're going to be tossing Mike and Ike's or if they're just the sponsor, but either way, it's a cornhole for everybody. The 2025 UFO Parade is going to go down Saturday evening during that weekend. And, of course, it's your chance to see all kinds of crazy alien vehicles doing their thing in downtown Roswell. But as you see right here, the classified documents have been released. The UFO Festival is going down, and if you haven't already seen, you can find these flyers kind of all over the place. But if you need more information, head for UFOfestival.com. They have the complete list of events, of times, of places that they're going to be, including the Roswell Invaders baseball, as well as some other places you can visit around Roswell. And what's cool about the UFO Festival site, it links over to our See Roswell page. Now, this is a brand new page that was recently started for Roswell, for those folks who are visiting Roswell from parts unknown. It's got all kinds of great resources and information on what to see, what to do, where to eat, where to stay, and all the other fun stuff happening here in our alien city. So if you're not heading over to the UFO Festival site, head over to seeroswell.com and check that out as well, because they have a lot of great information, and it's going to be a fun summer. Lots and lots of folks making their way to Roswell, not only for the UFO Festival, but also for the Roswell International Air Show and Races. Not the Reno Air Races anymore. It's the Roswell Air Races. So obviously, it's going to be a busy few months for us around Roswell. And for those folks who are visiting from parts unknown, you can see it all at seeroswell.com. Hey, real quick, I want to encourage you. Next Tuesday, that's 1 week from tomorrow, Dion's Pizza on South Main and West Wildey, they're going to be holding community night, this time benefiting the Roswell Genesis Youth Flag Football Program. A portion of the proceeds from the sales on next Tuesday are going to be donated to this group, to the Genesis Flag Football Program, and all the stuff, the great work that they do, keeping kids out of trouble, off the streets, and learning some fun skills there with flag football. Again, that's next Tuesday from 5 to 8 p.m. at Dion's Pizza on South Main and West Wildey. So you want to benefit a great group and have a great meal, you can do it all at Dion's. You can order online at dions.com for dine-in or pickup, and a big, big thanks to Dion's for supporting the Roswell community. A couple more minutes as we wrap up this hour of the program. Wanted to real quickly remind you and run down the movies in the park that's being put on this year by Roswell Night Skies. So every Friday night, you and your loved ones can enjoy an evening under the stars and enjoy a movie all right there waiting for you. They got food trucks out there as well. You can bring a picnic dinner if you want, maybe some snacks, lay out a blanket, set out some lawn chairs, and come have a great time with the community as we all watch movies in the park. This Friday night, it's going down at, it always goes down at Rustic K Soccer Complex. This Friday night, they're going to be watching the CGI live action, yes, big quotey fingers on that one, Mufasa. Obviously the follow-up, or the prequel in this case, to The Lion King. Basically the rise of Mufasa. Of course, other movies that you can enjoy the rest of the summertime include Paddington in Peru. Now, I got to tell you, Paddington movies are severely underrated. If you've never seen, since they started the reboot of the movies several years ago, the first two are cinematic masterpieces. I was a huge fan of Paddington growing up, so to see them actually doing the series and doing the intellectual property good and actually, doing it the right way, I can definitely appreciate that. But the third installment in the Paddington Now trilogy, Paddington in Peru, that's next Friday at DeBrimmon. On the 27th, I'm real excited about this one. If you haven't seen it, it's a great movie. The Wild Robot is going to be on the big screen on the 27th of June. You do not want to miss that. If you haven't already seen it, it's available on different streaming platforms, but it is a fantastic story. I would say on the same level as The Iron Giant. Yeah, that good. Other movies throughout the summer include Elemental on, actually, my daughter's birthday, July 11th, Wish on July 18th, as well as The Princess and the Frog on the 25th, Inside Out, the original, on the 1st of August, and then on the day after my birthday, Robert Downey Jr. is Dr. Dolittle, to wrap up the summer movies in the park with the Roswell Night Skies. And again, happening at the Rustic A Soccer Complex. More info, roswellnightskies.org. They got all of the info that you need to know. Stay tuned. Next hour, we're going to be chatting with the folks from the Health Council, Ms. Carrie Moore, about the upcoming health fair happening here in the month of August and all the info entailed therein. Stay tuned to A Morning Without Mike Winters on 106.5 KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. Stay tuned.
The great one, Mark Levin, is now in Roswell on 106.5 KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Downtown Los Angeles designated an unlawful assembly area by police following a weekend of violence, rioting that followed a series of raids by ICE, whose agents were enforcing federal immigration law. Police and National Guardsmen were hit with rocks, bottles, and other objects. Cars were burned, major thoroughfares blocked amid a looting spree. All of that turmoil prompting President Trump to deploy the National Guard.
In response to the unrest in California, the president said the deployment was necessary, and he's prepared to send in more troops.
We're going to have troops everywhere. We're not going to let this happen to our country. We're not going to let our country be torn apart.
California's governor called the National Guard deployment unlawful. Meanwhile, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth wrote online that active duty Marines were on high alert. Greg Clugston, Washington.
And on Truth Social, the president vowing to, quote, liberate Los Angeles. Mr. Trump's budget and spending priorities taking center stage this week on Capitol Hill.
As Senate committees continue to release their proposals for the House-passed reconciliation package this week, the House plans to vote on President Donald Trump's proposals to rescind foreign aid and other spending, including for public broadcasting. House Majority Leader Steve Scalise said in a statement, quote, the rescission request sent to Congress by the Trump administration takes the federal government in a new direction where we actually cut waste, fraud, and abuse and hold agencies accountable to the American people. The House also takes up bills this week targeting local operations in Washington, D.C. Bernie Bennett in Washington.
Coast Guard search underway after a plane, 6 people on board, crashed in the Pacific off San Diego. Ukraine says Russia has launched the biggest overnight drone attack of the war so far, 479 drones in all. Wall Street, the Dow trading about 172 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Mike Gallagher here, host of the Mike Gallagher Show. If you know me...
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals, too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Armed wing was killed during an airstrike last month.
An Israeli army statement said DNA checks confirmed a body retrieved from a tunnel underneath the European hospital in Khan Yunis was that of Mohammed Sinwar. The Israelis say the body of Mohammed Shabana, the commander of the Hamas Rafah brigade, was also found at the scene. They died, Israel says, in a military operation on May the 13th. Mohammed Sinwar was the younger brother of Yahya Sinwar, killed by Israel last year. He'd been accused by Israel of masterminding the October 2023 attack on Israel that triggered the war in Gaza.
That's the BBC's David Bamford. A 6.3 magnitude earthquake has struck central Colombia. No casualties immediately reported. The quake hit roughly 116 miles southeast of the capital. Additional tremors in the same area minutes later. Townhall.com. A court victory for President Trump in his effort to fire several board members of the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
A federal judge has refused to grant a preliminary injunction against the administration's removal of Laura Ross, Diane Kaplan, and Thomas Rothman. Their firing is tied to President Trump's effort to defund the CPB for what critics say has been its use of tax dollars to harm conservatives and promote Democrats. In his ruling, U.S. District Judge Randolph Moss said the plaintiffs failed to provide convincing proof that the firings were unlawful or that they would suffer irreparable harm, both necessary criteria for preliminary injunctions. Bob Agnew reporting.
China reports exports to the United States fell 35% last month from a year earlier, straining the economy. This comes as trade talks with Washington get underway in London. Its imports declined 3.4% year on year. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3. Chris and Viernes of a morning without Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Monday. Welcome back to the work week. Of course, summertime still in full swing. And Mixmaster Mike Winters taking full advantage of the summer break that his lovely teacher wife Kim gets to enjoy every summer. And by the way, well earned. If you're an educator out there, people are giving you a hard time about having days off for the summer. Kindly look them squarely in the eye and tell them to where they can stick their opinion, because you have earned every single second of the time off that you get for summer and holiday breaks. I know. I spend time with those little snot-nosed punks, and thank you for your service. That's all I'm going to say. We appreciate everything that the teachers out there do. So obviously some much-deserved time off. Michael and his lovely young bride are off in Colorado area, enjoying the cool pines of that region. But by the way, I'm told, I have it on good authority, there is still some snow up in those mountains. I know, right? I was dying yesterday in 104-degree heat, and they still have snow on the mountaintops. But Mike's off enjoying some activities in southern Colorado. I believe one of the activities towards the end of the week is they're going to make their way to the Four Corners area. Now, I've been there. It has been, let's see, I want to say maybe a sophomore in high school when we actually went as a family. So it has been a significant amount of time since I've been to Four Corners. But it is an awesome experience to be in 4 places at the same time. Although, don't do what my dad did, because I know I've seen this move before. But my dad, he wanted to take all the traditional pictures where like each of us was standing in one of the states. So like my mom, me, my brother, and my sister were all gathered in one, each in our own individual states. Or the move that he pulled, and this is maybe the most white trash of moves. Take one of those plastic, white, everybody's got a stack of them in their backyard, lawn chairs that, yes, collects every single bit of the dirt and the funk and the gunk that lives in your family, take one of those with you to Four Corners, then stick that nasty, ugly, white, dirty lawn chair with one leg in each state. Okay, cool, you're sitting in all 4 states. Yeah, get that nasty chair out of there. If you got like a camping chair, something that folds, something that's nice, use that. My dad went the Family Dollar route. I'm just saying I don't recommend it because even as a kid, even with what little bit of pride I still had in my family, I felt pretty white trash. So just saying, if you're going to do the Four Corners experience, do it the right way. But one of the coolest experiences, and honestly, and this is something I've come to terms with, I've talked to my sister about, on my vacations, I just eat my experiences. I eat my feelings. I eat my memories. I go to places either that I remember from childhood or that I've never been before for its own experience, and I just eat. The local cuisine, whatever it happens to be, I'm trying to take it in. And that, to me, is the best way to take in a new place, to take in a place that you're visiting, is to take in the local flavor. Head down to, one of the recommended eateries in the area that you happen to be in. It's also tends to be the gathering place for those communities, so you get to meet a lot of really interesting people and kind of dive into their stories. I know one of Mike's big things is people watching, so this would be a great chance for Mike to get his people watching in this week. But Mixmaster Mike, all things going according to plan, will be back inside your radios right here in the captain's chair where he belongs this time next week. So, meantime, you got me. You got the gristle. Hey, there's still a lot of flavor in that gristle, all right? Best part is enjoy all the flavor, spit out the gristle, no calories. It's fantastic. But while I'm over here filling in for Mixmaster Mike Winters, I got to say once again a big, big thanks to Digger Wells, our newest trainee, our newest victim, I guess, here at Pecos Valley Broadcasting. He'll be filling in for me this week over on the Sean Small Show on 92.9 The Brand. I guess this week it is the Digger Wells Show, or as he's been calling it, Digger and the Diva. I kind of like that. It's got a little catch to it. But he'll be filling in this week. Make sure to head over there and give him some love. But, of course, keep it locked right here on 106.5 Roswell Talk FM. We've got a week chock full, all sorts of good stuff for you. Hey, real quickly, I wanted to put on your radar. If you're looking for something to do this weekend and you've got a little time, a little open road, you should head on over to Carlsbad, New Mexico. That's right, Father's Day weekend. The Carlsbad Gym and Mineral Society present the 2025 Carlsbad Rock Show. It's going down Father's Day weekend. That's this weekend, June 13th through the 15th at the Living Desert Zoo and Garden State Park in Carlsbad. We're talking about geodes and beads and minerals and fossils, petrified wood, gems, meteorites and carvings, jewelry, and much more. And the cool thing is you're amongst people that are knowledgeable, that this is their pastime. This is what they do, whether it's for a living or as a hobby. So they know about their geodes. They know about their petrified wood, gems and meteorites. The young man who was in here the other day that Mike talked to, that kid is a wealth of knowledge on all things rocks and minerals, but a lot of knowledge going to be waiting for you here at this rock show as well. They'll have silent auctions every 15 minutes and stuff for the kiddos, including the Wheel of Fortune and story time with Miss Michelle on Friday and Saturday at 11 p.m. Door prizes on Sunday as well. Best of all, admission to the rock show is free. Now, if you want to enjoy the Living Desert Zoo and Garden State Park, you do have to pay their fees to get in. But for the rock show, absolutely free, and all proceeds go to benefit the College Fund for lapidary equipment, supplies, and training at the North Mesa Senior Center. The Carlsbad Gym and Mineral Society presenting the 2025 Carlsbad Rock Show. Going down this weekend, Father's Day weekend, in case you forgot, June 13th through the Friday and Saturday, June 13th and 14th, and then the 15th, Sunday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Living Desert Zoo and Garden State Park here, or there in Carlsbad, here in southeast New Mexico, but there in Carlsbad. So worth a trip if you're into rocking out. They've got the rock that you are looking for. 13 minutes after 9 o'clock, let me give you the rundown for this hour of the program. Coming up here in just a few minutes, I'll get you up to date with the weather, and then around 9:20 or so, we'll be chatting with Ms. Carrie Moore from the Chavez County Health Council Obviously, we are fast approaching the festival time. The health fair is coming up real quick before you know it, and obviously we'll dive into that. We'll dive into some other programs and assistance that is available to you through the Health Council. More on that coming up in just a little bit on this Monday morning without Mike Winters. Right now at 15 minutes after 9 o'clock, let us get you up to date with the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Cold front now off to our south, but we have a lot of warm and humid air over the area. Showers and thunderstorms will be possible today. Some of those storms could be severe with large hail and damaging wind. Our afternoon high today in the mid-80s. Showers and thunderstorms, pretty good possibility overnight with mid-60s, and then more showers and thunderstorms on Tuesday, mid-80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, let me get this refreshed real quick. Currently around Roswell Way, we are looking at 73 degrees. The clouds have rolled into the area. We do have a bit of a wind blowing right now. It's going to be hanging around for at least the next few days. So if you enjoy overcast skies, we'll get out there and enjoy you some, doggone it. We got, right now, overcast. Humidity is at 59%. 73 degrees for the high currently. Winds out of the northeast at 9 miles an hour. The barometer at 30.09 inches with a dew point of 58 degrees. Looking at mostly cloudy skies for at least the first part of today. Scattered showers and thunderstorms, those mostly after 3, and a lot of those storms could be severe. A high of around 84 for the high today. Winds northeast 5 to 10, becoming southeast in the afternoon. Your chance of rain is at 30%. Scattered showers, thunderstorms, mostly before 3 a.m. for tonight. Some of those storms could be severe, mostly cloudy and low of around 64 degrees. Winds out of the southeast 5 to 10 miles an hour. Becoming north in the evening, chance of rain is at 30%. Big chance for rain tomorrow. Showers and thunderstorms likely mostly afternoon. Some of those storms could be severe, mostly cloudy and a high of around 87 degrees. Winds out of the north 5 to 10, becoming south in the afternoon. Chance of rain for tomorrow is 70%. New rainfall amounts of less than 1/10 of an inch are possible, except higher amounts in thunderstorms. Go figure. It rains more, we get more rain. I know. Science, right? Scattered showers, thunderstorms, mostly before midnight on Tuesday night. Some of those storms could be severe, mostly cloudy and a low of around 63 degrees. Winds out of the northeast 5 to 15 miles an hour, becoming south after midnight. Chance of precip is at 50%. 30% chance of rain for Wednesday. Scattered showers, thunderstorms, afternoon, partly sunny and a high of around 88 degrees. And as we move into the back half of the week, things drying up and heating up significantly. I've said the word significantly like 16 times this morning, or insignificant. I'm starting to catch my crutches. What can I say? Partly cloudy and 65 for your Wednesday night, but as we head into the back half of the week, Thursday, mostly sunny, 95 for the high, and staying that way. 98 for the high on Friday, 101 for the high on Saturday, and 100 for the high on Sunday. So if you enjoy the rainier weather, the cloudier weather, then get out and enjoy it right now. I will say, don't forget about the humidity, because, yeah, while there's clouds, it's still going to be warm out there. That means that air is going to be thick. So, shade's not going to help you, but I guess try to find some AC and stay hydrated out there, especially if you got to be out in it. It's going to be a bit muggy today, so find a way to help yourself. 18 minutes after 9 o'clock, going to pause for a couple of moments, and after these, we'll be chit-chatting with Miss Carrie Moore from the Travis County Health Department, Health Council on a morning without Mike Winters. Stay tuned.
Join us for an unforgettable evening at our annual fundraiser dinner and auction, The Taste of the Spencer, on June 21st. All proceeds will support the Spencer Theater in furthering our mission to enrich the cultural lives of South Central New Mexico's residents and visitors. Tickets are $135 and can be purchased online at spencertheater.com or by calling the box office at 575-336-4800. We'll see you at the Spencer.
Have you experienced the Valley Cafe yet? It's much more than lunch or dinner. It's an experience. Chef Anthony Noble is a nominated Chef of the Year and manager with a 4.9 out of 5 kitchen cleanliness rating and a 4.8 out of 5 most love rating. It's time for you to experience the difference that so many others already have at the Valley Cafe. Visit for lunch or dinner at 801 West Brasher, the Orange Building across from Church on the Move in Roswell. And save the Valley Cafe in your contacts. 575-755-EATS. 575-755-3287. Don't forget, we can cater your event too, and a portion of our proceeds go to the Dream Center in Roswell.
Lights, camera, action. Get superhero savings during our summer blockbuster sales event going on right now at Roswell Ford. Hey Roswell, you don't need to be a hero to pay zero. Drive home a new Ford with 0 down and 0 payments this summer. Plus, at Roswell Ford, everyone gets employee pricing. You heard right. At Roswell Ford, you pay what we pay on our huge inventory of new Fords. Stuck in your loan or lease and want out early? Roswell Ford can get you released, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth, regardless of make, miles, or condition. Don't let the credit villains keep you from driving your dream car. At Roswell Ford, getting approved is a possible mission, so you can pay what we pay. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to find the best car and get massive American-made savings and the best car buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford, because we'll do whatever it takes to make a deal. 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell. Call 575-623-3673 or online at roswellford.com. Interest accrues from date of sale on select vehicles. Trade balances refinanced to new loan. Subject to lender approval. Offers not combined.
Did you know almost 75% of the time we're replacing a roof, something totally weird or unexpected or bizarre happens? Jennifer here again from Trustmark Roofing, and I want you to know that we are always prepared for the unexpected. That's why we always have project superintendent on site at your home at all times to handle those weird, bizarre things as they pop up. Things like an unexpected layer of wood shake shingles under your shingles or rotted out decking boards, problems with flashing or ridges or missing supplies that somebody needs to chase down. These are the kinds of problems that normally grind the crews from other roofing companies to a halt and delay the project. But not with our super awesome superintendent there. He's equipped to handle any problem and keep the project moving along smoothly. Just one more way we do things better at Trustmark Roofing. If you have any roofing needs, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Elephants use these skin folds on their bodies to crush mosquitoes. Mike Winters uses his to hide M&Ms. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning, 21 minutes after 9 o'clock. And let's see, we're set up here on 4 and 3. And joining us in the studio this morning from the Health Department, from the Chavez County Health Council, Ms. Carrie Moore.
Close.
And once again, from Outreach Service of America, Ms. Sonia Bolaños. How are y'all doing this morning?
Good. Just to be clear, we're a nonprofit agency, not a government agency. I don't work for the county, guys.
Nothing official. This is all just to try to get, Chavez County a little bit healthier. That's really all we're at.
That's it. That's all we're doing.
And I know that it's basically since last year, since the day after the health fair last year, planning started for this year's health fair. So obviously we are in the thick of it.
We are massively in the thick of it. So we are on our 7th annual Chavez County Health Expo. This year.
7th, really?
7th. I know, it's hard to believe, right?
Yeah,
it doesn't feel like I've been doing this for 7 years.
Feels like just yesterday I took a walk down the colon, and had those experiences. But yeah, 7 years.
We'll keep it clean on the colon. I know. It's my favorite experience.
It is. It's like the ride,
Boxing polyps.
I've been pitching for years for the Polyp Pillow Palace, but that hasn't gone over well yet.
Oh, dude, I don't know. I'm thinking we can come up with something.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be a great, mental calming. What are those little areas that they set up?
The safe room.
Like meditation rooms.
Oh, yeah.
Meditate in the colon.
Meditate
oh, my goodness.
amongst the polyps. That's nice. But yeah, for 7 years we've been on a mission to try to get the folks here in Chavez County a little bit healthier and through every means possible. Now, obviously, this year you got handed a bit of an interesting card with us not having the Roswell Convention Center.
Yeah. So by the time we're done with this and we get another large venue set up in this town, I will have every small venue mapped out, and I'll be able to tell you how many booths it can hold. Because between this and the expo, the Veteran Symposium, and all the other things that we do, I'm pretty much going to hit every single center.
It has been a big year for places like the Haiku venue, for places like the Liberty. A lot of those folks getting some of the runoff.
But this year we're doing the mall.
Okay, so it's going to be out at the Roswell Mall. Very
Right,
good.
yeah. So the Health Expo is the largest health expo in Southeast New Mexico.
Really?
Yep, we have over 100 booths under normal circumstances. We'll see what this year brings. But normally we have over 100 booths. We have about 1,000 people who show up.
Wow.
So yeah, it's huge. And so trying to find a venue big enough to do that was very difficult. So the mall was gracious, so we'll be set up there. We'll have some of the vans set up outside.
Okay.
I didn't know this, but you know where the trees are that line the front?
Oh, and that one.
That one little
area?
driveway?
Yeah.
It's called Tree Alley.
Oh, really?
They actually have a name for it.
I did not know that. That's delightful.
So the mobile units will be set up in Tree Alley.
Okay.
And then this way, depending on, we don't have the blood guys this year. They were already booked, but got kid vaccines going on.
Okay.
CASA Kids will have their mobile unit to be able to do some of their outreach services. Blue Cross, Blue Shield will probably be there. They haven't done their paperwork yet, but they normally come.
So it sounds like, we've got everything pretty much mapped out, but it sounds like there is still space available.
There's still space available. We are still taking booth spaces until June 28th, I believe, is the day.
Okay.
And we still have room for sponsors. Again, about the same deadline. So yeah, there's still plenty of room.
Very good. So if you're somebody in the healthcare field who offers a service and you're looking to maybe expand that, or just let people know about some information regarding what your business does or what you guys are about, this is a great chance to do that. A lot of foot traffic, a lot of walk past, a lot of eyeballs on your business. So I actually had something interesting happen over the weekend. I should have gotten the guy's card, but I went to a festival and they had a gentleman there who was he does these like hand treatments, and he gave me this glass of, it was ashwagandha juice or like ashwagandha extract, and then he gave me a full shoulder massage. I don't know if this guy was like part of the thing that I was there, or maybe he was just like hitting people up, but
maybe he just really liked you.
But yeah, exactly. I'm flattered. But if you're somebody like that who maybe has an organization that is just kind of getting started, and you want to let people know about what you do or what services you provide, this is a great chance to do just that.
Right, because it's way more than just having the doctors and the medical field there themselves. So we've got alternative medicine. We've got people who do the food trays, the healthy eating food count.
Oh, the prep.
Food.
Oh, meal prep.
Yeah, meal prep. Meal prep. That's a great thing to advertise through the Health Expo.
Half the time I'm handed the card, I'm like, I didn't even know we had this here.
And then that's kind of one of the things, right? Because Roswell is unique and we have a difficult way of spreading information. It's kind of hard. Facebook seems to be like the majority of the places, but that really is only women aged 35 to 68.
Yeah.
I mean, there's other people on there, but all my demographics say it's only women 35 to 68.
I'm starting to figure out that because I don't diversify my social portfolio, I'm an old man. I just live on Facebook.
Yeah.
But at least I stay off X. I feel like I'm doing myself a service by staying off of X.
Well, not many people here use X, so that one's not really. Instagram is kind of big, and then you got.
I'm just mostly trying to avoid the national poison. I want to be plugged into the local scene.
So the local poison.
Yeah, the local poison. I'm all about that. Well, because that's the tea you get to taste right here. Other stuff you got to like watch from afar. Stuff that's happening right here, like ooh, this is in my backyard.
And this is where, grassroots, this is where it starts. This is how you make changes. You start on the local level and you make things better for your community. And then once you get that going, then you can reach out to other communities, and then it just spreads like, well, we won't use the word wildfire because that's just bad.
Spreads like a plague. No.
It spreads like dandelion petals when you blow on the.
Ooh, I like that.
When we all make a wish on the dandelion flower.
Right.
I remember the first time I was trying to get my daughter to figure out how to blow a dandelion, she just ate it.
Oh.
That was a fun experience trying to get all those little seeds out, but that was neither here
She's
nor
still
there.
coughing them up today.
Yeah, she has a weed problem in the esophagus right now. But yeah, and I work in a field that of advertising where I try to let people know about things that are happening. But I'll be the first to tell you, word of mouth is the best form of advertising, especially locally.
Yeah.
Through other people's experiences are how you're going to make your decisions and spend your money essentially.
But at the same time, you have to make sure that you cross your age groups and your genders, because you get this whole group that doesn't know anything. It's because they don't run in those same circles. Mm-hmm. And that's where we hear a lot in Roswell. It's like, well, yeah, there's nothing to do here. Well, there is stuff to do. It's just not something maybe you want to do or you think you want to do. Mm-hmm. Or you didn't know about it because it was a different circle. Well, it's the good old boys. Well, it's not necessarily. Some things, yes, by all means. Some things are the good old boys. But Who are the good old boys? I mean, we're talking the 75 white men. Is that the good old boys?
I have a list in the car. I can go grab it. You have time.
Hey, it's good to know who they are.
I've been compiling it over the last few years. But yeah, no, so this is, it's easy to fall into those sects of Roswell and kind of get into your own group. I, personally, I've heard the argument, and I've made the argument, Roswell, people who live in Roswell don't go to the touristy things. We don't go to the museum. Nope. We don't go to the spacewalk. But then when, we have our friends and family come in from out of town, we do these experiences where, wow, this was in my backyard. I could have done this weekend.
Yep.
Who knew? So that's the best way to let people know is get out there and, be a part of that community. So the expo is going to run, is it the first week in August?
It's August 2nd. It'll be from 10 to 2 at the Roswell Mall.
Okay.
So we always do the fun run before the expo. Mm-hmm. So again, that will also be at the mall on August 2nd, but it'll be start at 7 o'clock. Now, so this year, being the very first year ever doing it, we are theming out the expo.
Okay.
I'm standing in the middle of the mall trying to figure out how to do booths and everything, and all I could think was 80 vibes and playing in the arcade, right?
Yep.
So I'm like
season 4 of Stranger Things, essentially.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So I'm like, dude, this would be so much fun as vintage arcade video games.
Okay.
So that's what we're gonna do.
All right.
So normally, like, we'll have a scavenger hunt, and you get a map of where all the booths are. Well, guess what? I can't map out the mall the way I normally do.
Right.
So I can't do that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put ghosts up on some of the booths. And so now you got to go hunt your ghost for your scavenger hunt and get your signatures to be able to, win some of the prizes, because we do really great, fantastic prizes. Mm-hmm. Usually about $5,000 to $7,000 worth of prizes.
Wow.
We did ice cream maker, that Ninja ice cream maker.
Oh, the Creamy?
Yes, we did one of those last year. The robot vacuum things, laptops, tablets, PlayStations. So when we do prizes, we do them very, very well. Yes.
I like that. I like the idea of the health council. The prizes are a Roomba, so you don't have to vacuum. Sit down on the couch and play on a PlayStation. On the couch.
This is mental health.
I know.
Come on, Sean.
I'm just ribbing you. So with that in mind, so obviously the mall is going to be it's a spread out area, so they're going to have people in different coves and coveys of the mall.
Yep. So we'll have it spread out so that you can do that. But the fun run right now is set up. You can get your tickets. You can visit the Chaves County Health Council website. There's a link there to get them. You can call Rick over at the Boys and Girls Club, because the fun run benefits the Boys and Girls Club. That is every ticket they sell goes directly back to them. That is all it is their fundraiser. We are very huge supporters of the Boys and Girls Club.
As well you should be. The Boys and Girls Club, invaluable, especially here in Roswell. I'm immediately, now that my son is eligible, going to get him in the after school program over there.
Yep.
It's just a great group of people that are just out there looking out for the for the well-being of our kids.
Yeah, and getting funds for some things in Chaves County is a little difficult, and so the Boys and Girls Club is definitely one that is extremely underfunded.
Right. Are they a United Way member organization?
Yes, I believe so.
I thought they were. Yeah. So they fall under that umbrella of agencies. So, when assistance is given, it's only a percentage of that assistance, so it can only go so far. So any and all monetary donations we can make to the Boys and Girls Club, absolutely going to go.
Yeah, and they're trying to get their program back to the way it was, because remember back in the 90s, 80s, I mean, it used to just be rocking over there. And so he's working on that, and he's trying to get it back to what it used to be. And, they're doing a fantastic job. It takes time to do it and build the programs, but they're getting the accreditations that they need to be able to do the stuff that they need to do. So people, send your kids there. Give them some money.
Right. Now, I'm curious about the route of the fun run, which, by the way, that's an oxymoron. Where's the route this year?
So we are going to end up doing it outside the mall. Okay. So it'll be the drive that goes all the way around.
Okay.
So I've already mapped it out, and yes, you have to run the mall 4 times.
For a mile.
To make a 5K.
Oh, 5K. Wow.
Yeah, for a 5K. And I'm sitting there going, holy crap, that's long. That's a lot.
Unsuspecting husbands of the 90s probably did a 5K and didn't even know they were doing it on weekends. Just getting drug around store to store with their wives.
Yeah. Well, originally I was thinking, well, maybe we should do it inside, because then they can be the mall walkers and their neon
leg warmers.
Yes, they're going through the mall with their big hair.
That's a Power Walk 5000.
Yeah. But having around the booth and the extra amount of people and it
complicates things.
Yeah, logistics. It's all about logistics.
There you go. So get signed up for the fun could and help out the Boys and Girls Club if you can. If you're up to 5K level, and again, you don't have to run the whole time. It could be a 5K saunter.
Well, you can walk, you can skateboard, you can rollerblade, you can put your kids in a wagon, and then of course, decorate.
Yeah, go nuts
be Donkey Kong.
The 80s opens things up to a lot of a lot of looks. Like if anybody shows up dressed as 80s Prince, I think you won the show.
In a little red Corvette.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Push a little
as
red
a wagon.
Corvette. Yep.
So are you gonna have prizes for like the best dress, or how are you gonna get the prizes out?
We will give you a clap.
There you go.
Okay.
So because the fun run is a fundraiser for the Boys and Girls Club, there is no prizes for that. But you do get an awesome T-shirt that's got Pac-Man on it.
Nice. I live in Roswell. I know for a fact bragging rights go a long way around here. So that's not insignificant. I've already pointed out that I said the word significant like 17 times today. But let's talk about the expo itself. What obviously space is available, but what do we have locked down? What can people expect at the expo this year?
So again, I know we'll have vaccines. We'll have the Lions eyeglass.
Okay.
People will be there to make sure that the kids can get glasses.
The only reason I had glasses as a kid is because of the Lions Club. So it's a great organization.
Yep. We got the nonprofits. So like Alzheimer's will be there. Casa Kids will be there. We've got, you put me on the spot.
I'm so sorry.
See How You Are.
But lots of, now I'm curious, are you based on your space, the space that you have and the space that's needed, are you able to kind of group these booths or these kiosks in, like one's heart health, maybe this alley, or one talking about maybe like digestive issues over here?
No.
Okay, so it's just kind of all over the place.
Yes, because, so if you're really if you want to go just for heart health and, that booth is just all right here, there's no reason for you to go look at anything else.
Right.
And maybe there's something else that you really need to see. So, yeah, I try to spread you out. Now, what will happen is Eastern New Mexico Medical Center, who is our premier sponsor for the Health Expo, got to get that in.
They're the money. I get it.
Their 10 booths will all be together.
Okay.
Now, their 10 booths will all do something different. So, they'll do blood pressure monitoring. Okay. Last year, they did shaken baby syndrome.
Oh, wow.
And that was an interesting doll. And yes, there's a doll for it.
Does it go off if you shake it?
Yes, it has a clear head. And so you got to see the brain and the damage it did to the brain depending on how much it took to shake it.
Wow.
Yeah, it was interesting and weird all at the same time. But again, that's something that's rememberable. And sometimes that's what you need is, you need to be shaken up.
Now imagine it's a Monday morning. You just woke up. You're having your coffee, getting ready to go to work. at the plant that manufactures the shaken baby syndrome dolls. What a surreal experience that must be to be the guy that like presses the plastic on the clear head. You're just like, look, this is so weird, man.
Or what about the ones who do the testing to make sure that it's working appropriately?
They got the testers at the end.
It's like, okay, well, you're the light tester, so you can only shake it at this rate.
Right.
You're the aggressive dude, man.
We all know Jim's the big shaker in the office. But yeah, that's gotta be traumatic at the end of the day. You go home, I shook 78 babies today. But that's really cool. So a new experience for sure. Even in those the CPR dummies and stuff. Those are that's a lot of really vital information. They're entertaining and they're interesting, but you're really learning, and that's how you retain the info.
Yeah, it's usually something that shocks you is how you remember a lot of stuff.
Bad days make good stories, So if you have this experience of that was weird, you're gonna remember the weird thing.
Yeah. One of the other things which you had brought up when I first got here was we do what is called the resource guide, and so we print that out. This will be our second year doing it.
Okay.
And we hand that out during the expo, and then we keep some through the Health Council to pass out throughout the community. So right now we're building the resources and verifying the resources that go in that resource guide. So if you are a government, nonprofit, for-profit, faith-based entity in Roswell and service the community, you need to make sure that you either call us at 211 so we can get your information in, or we can give you the link to where you can just add your information for the community, because this is how that guide gets listed. Absolutely. And then we break it out by genre.
Right.
I don't know how.
Category, essentially.
Yeah, they call it taxonomy in the government, which is kind of weird.
But it's a real handy resource because, at any point in time, if you're looking for maybe hospice services, or if you're looking for a nursing care facility for, maybe your aging mother or father, if you're looking for resources that help with, energy assistance, like the program that we spoke about with Miss Sonia last hour, these kinds of things are great resources, and having them all in one place, that's incredibly handy.
Yeah, and we try to break it out. So if you need senior services, here's all your senior services. And then you'll find them, again, listed in different places because most places do other ones.
Right.
But here's your youth services. Here's all this stuff, and we try to make sure that the community is well informed.
Right.
And like I said, we'll print it out, and then we keep it up on our website so that you have it. And then 211 is the phone call. So if you don't have access to an internet or whatever, just dial 211, and we can relay the same information. Now, 211, we have way more information that we do verbally than what we print, because not everything gets publicized for print.
Sure.
So we have access to other resources. But again, Southeast New Mexico, Chavez County, we are limited on resources. There's just some places that some people we just can't help.
Right.
We want to help. We want to figure out how to do it, and we just don't.
And I feel like a lot of the resources that have been available in the past are maybe not as available anymore. And so people are, when times are tight, you tend to look at your charitable donations. You tend to look at money maybe that you're spending on advertising, and those are the things that get cut first. But these are the programs that keep Southeastern New Mexico going, essentially. So
right. And because we did have, we technically only had the one disaster, but because we were the evacuation point for Ruidoso, I have to say we had two disasters that hit our community, and a lot of our resources where people normally donate have gone into those two disasters, and so it gets a little tighter. Sure. One of the things that we do with the Health Expo is we give out backpacks. We have a sponsor who does nothing but backpacks. And then part of the booth requirement is, yes, there's a booth fee, but you have to bring 2 backpacks with school supplies, because we want to make sure that the kids have access to backpacks and school supplies. And then anything that's left over, we take it down to the valley, so that way we make sure that Dexter, Hagerman, and Lake Arthur also have access. It's not just about Roswell, because we encompass the entire county.
And that's something that you touched on back there is, these organizations, while yes, they have their own primary focus and their own things that they need to accomplish and get done, you guys work together a lot. I mean, there's a lot of reaching over from one side to take funds from one program to use here, or if this program's in need, you can kind of move things around a bit. By the way, I just looked at the time. We're kind of tight on time, so with that in mind, let's run it down. The 2nd from 10 to 2, that's going to be at the Roswell Mall.
August 2nd, 10 to 2, Roswell Mall for the Health Expo. You can still get your booths, and sponsorships are still available. Okay. You can call 211, or you can head over to Chaves County Health Council webpage.
That's handy, by the way. If you're looking to be a part of the Health Expo, you don't have to remember some convoluted website or number. 211. That's it.
211.
That'll get it done. So
how do I get a hold of Carrie? 211.
211. She's got the 411. Although you can't say that anymore because that's not a thing.
I know 211 really should have been called 411, but whatever.
The kids broke it. Well, ladies, thank you so much for your time. Again, 211 for any more information. But if you're an organization that provides for the community, this is a great chance to get your name out there and let folks know who you are. Thank you so much for your time, and we'll chat with you again next time.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, ladies. 16 away from 10 o'clock. Let us get you up to date with the local news.
Now for your Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. Artesia Public Schools has hired a familiar face to take over as athletic director. Jeremy Maupin has replaced Brian Taylor as Artesia's AD as of June 2nd. However, neither Maupin nor Superintendent Darian Jaramillo are talking about why Taylor was let go. Maupin will remain the head football coach. Jaramillo had brought up the potential change last month here on Good Morning Artesia, but there was no official statement or recognition of the change by the school system. Taylor has been reassigned as assistant principal at Artesia Junior High School. The Bureau of Land Management will increase fees beginning July at Rob Jagger's Campground and Valley of Fires Recreation Area in Lincoln County, as well as the Haystack Mountain and Mescalero Sands North Dune off-highway vehicle areas in Roswell. The fee adjustments aim to address the costs associated with maintaining and improving facilities and infrastructure necessary to support a growing number of visitors. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Turn up your radio. Here's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
A one-day, kind of back and forth fight between the most powerful man in the world and the richest man in the world. I'm sorry. I'm kind of nonplussed by it, to be very honest. It just really doesn't mean that much to me, and it seems like that's, what about this fight? Hannity, what are you going to do? You got nothing. And I think it's just unrealistic to expect people that are, used to being in charge and getting their way and admitting, like they did a week ago, that they don't agree on everything. They agree on 80% of things, that they might have a fight.
Check out the Sean Hannity radio show later today, right here.
Pure Talk, my wireless company, a veteran-owned company, believes every man, every woman who has faithfully served this country deserves to proudly fly an American flag that was made in America. And that's why Pure Talk is on a mission to give an allegiance flag, the highest quality American flag made in Charleston, South Carolina, to 1,000 veterans in time for these patriotic holidays. Just switch your cell phone service to Pure Talk. Do it this month, and a portion of every sale will go to provide these high-quality flags hand-sewn to the deserving vets. Now, with plans starting at just $25 a month for unlimited talk and text and plenty of data, you can enjoy America's most dependable 5G network, all while cutting your cell phone bill in half. Average family saves over $1,000 a year. You just dial pound 250, say the keyword save now. Pure Talk's customer service will make the switch. Pound 250, keyword save now, support our veterans, and switch to America's wireless company, Pure Talk.
And good morning. 12 away from 10 o'clock. Let us get you up to date with the local weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Cold front now off to our south, but we have a lot of warm and humid air over the area. Showers and thunderstorms will be possible today. Some of those storms could be severe with large hail and damaging wind. Our afternoon high today in the mid-80s. Showers and thunderstorms, pretty good possibility overnight with mid-60s, and then more showers and thunderstorms on Tuesday, mid-80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, cans here, so I know that I'm being heard. I know it's a weird thing. Currently around Roswell Way, looking at 75 degrees. Humidity is at 59%. Winds out of the northeast at around 9 miles an hour. Barometer at 30.09 inches with a dew point of 58 degrees and a visibility of 10 whole miles. For today, we're looking at scattered showers and thunderstorms after 3 p.m. Some of those storms could be severe. It's going to be mostly cloudy out there. A high of around 84 degrees. Winds out of the northeast 5 to 10 miles an hour, becoming southeast later in the afternoon. That chance of rain is at about 30%. Scattered showers and thunderstorms mostly before 3 a.m., and some of those storms could be severe as well. Mostly cloudy, a low of around 64 degrees. Winds out of the southeast 5 to 10 miles an hour, becoming north in the evening. Chance of rain is once again 30%. The big chance for rain comes on Tuesday. Showers and thunderstorms likely mostly afternoon. Some of those storms, once again, could be severe. Mostly cloudy, 87 for the high. Chance of rain is at 70%. Winds out of the north 5 to 10 miles an hour, becoming south in the afternoon. New rainfall amounts of less than 1/10 of an inch are expected, except higher in thunderstorm situations. For your Tuesday night, scattered showers and thunderstorms mostly before midnight. Some of those storms, once again, could be severe. Mostly cloudy, 63 for the overnight low. Northeast winds 5 to 15, becoming south after midnight. Once again, your chance of rain is at 50%. 30% chance of rain on Wednesday with a high of right around 88 degrees. Winds out of the south 5 to 10 miles an hour. And the rain chance dwindles off as we get later into the week. 95 for the high under mostly sunny skies on Thursday. Sunny and hot, 98 on Friday, sunny and hot, 101 on Saturday, 100 for the high on Sunday. 10 minutes away from 10 o'clock. Real quickly, wanted to get you updated on, let me find it here if I can. Here we go. Dion's Pizza over on South Main and West Wildey. 1 week from tomorrow evening, they're going to be holding community night that benefits the Roswell Genesis Youth Flag Football Program. A portion of the sales between the hours of 5 and 8 p.m. will be donated to the group. You can stop by, you can call ahead, or order online at Dion's.com for the best pizza, salads, sandwiches, and sides in southeastern New Mexico. Think Dion's. Order online at Dion's.com for dine-in or pickup. Thank you to Dion's for supporting the Roswell community. 9 minutes away from 10 o'clock. Let's get you up to date with your market report.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. After stumbling out of the starting gate in Big Tech's pivotal race to create artificial intelligence, Apple will try to regain its footing today with its annual showcase for the next generation of software powering the iPhone and other popular products. China says its exports to the U.S. fell 35% last month from a year ago, straining the economy as trade talks with the U.S. get underway in London. Warner Brothers Discovery plans to separate into two public companies by next year as it makes a clearer distinction between its streaming and its cable business. Circle Internet Group, the U.S.-based issuer of one of the most popular cryptocurrencies, rose 29.4%. That adds to its 168% gain from Thursday when it debuted on the New York Stock Exchange. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
Attention Roswell! Due to great success, the first annual Cash for Clunkers event has been extended through June 21st at Roswell Nissan. So, push it, pull it, drag it, tow it. It doesn't even have to run. Whatever you got to do to get your clunker to Roswell Nissan. Get up to $5,000 towards new vehicles, including all new 2025 Pathfinders and Armadas. Huge savings on a great selection of vehicles, plus jolly jumps and free lunch Saturday from 11 to 2. Cash for Clunkers continues now through June 21st at Roswell Nissan, 2111 West 2nd.
You received a social media message or text from an unknown number. They started a conversation with you, and over time, they earn your trust. Then, they encourage you to invest online or buy cryptocurrency. And when you do, they disappear, along with your money. But it can be avoided. The Securities Division of New Mexico's Regulation and Licensing Department can help. Learn to spot the red flags of investment scams at rld.nm.gov/red flags or call 505-476-4580.
Every year, thousands of nursing home and assisted living residents face neglect and mistreatment. But as an ombudsman, you can be a voice for those who often go unheard. And we're looking for volunteers. Ombudsmen advocate for residents' rights and ensure quality care. It's an incredibly fulfilling experience. I know because I am one. Whether you're retired or just starting your career, your dedication and compassion will make a significant impact. Learn about volunteering as an ombudsman today at aging.nm.gov/volunteer. Sponsored by this station and the NMBA.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. U-Haul is the world's largest advertiser in the Yellow Pages. Too bad millennials don't know what the Yellow Pages are. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning, 6 minutes away from 10 o'clock on a morning without Mike Winters. By the way, if you missed any portion of today's program, you can always go back and check it out in its entirety over at ksvptv.com. Click on the Mornings with Mike Winters tab, and you can enjoy the show in its entirety in all of its glory, or give it a few minutes. And the brains behind this operation, Ms. Jocelyn, she'll have the interviews pieced up for you so you can take a listen to each individual interview. Had a great conversation with Mr. Matt Bristol in the 7 o'clock hour, all about assets and what are you going to do with them when the worst things happen. Where do you put your assets? So we talked about that. Great little interview. You can check that out, of course, at your leisure. In the 8 o'clock hour, fantastic conversation with Ms. Sonia Bolaños from the Outreach Service of America. Their program is a phenomenal one. In case you are just tuning in, this Energy Transition Act brought on by Senate Bill 489. This is your chance to save some hard-earned money on your energy bills as we head into a season when air conditioners are going to be obviously pumping out some serious meter readings. We want to save you as much money as possible. So this is a great program to save upwards of 28% on your energy bill. It's real simple to qualify. You just bring your power bill information, answer questions about family income, size of your family, things like that, and they'll apply the savings to your electric bill moving forward, and you'll be locked in. Here's the thing, space is limited, so you want to get signed up quick, because otherwise you're going to be put on a waiting list, and you're going to have to wait around for your chance to act. So take advantage of that, and again, if you want to sign up for that program, the office is at 212 South Lee. You can call them at 244-6911 or 840-7450. Then here in this last hour, here in the 9 o'clock hour, great conversation with Ms. Carrie Moore all about the Health Expo that is fast approaching August 2nd from 10 to 2 at the Roswell Mall. So if you are looking to get your business or your organization a little bit more notoriety, a little more publicity, so a few more eyes on your business or your nonprofit organization, this is a great way to do so. Just call 211 and Carrie and her crew will answer any questions that you need to know. Now, you've waited. You've salivated. You had to eat other stuff, so I'm sure you masticated. That's chewing, by the way. Don't report me to the FCC. But now, it's back. I'm talking about Rib Fest at Rib Crib on North Main in Roswell. Endless, slow-smoked righteous ribs served with smoked bologna, as well as unlimited sides, unlimited refills, just $19.99. Or go for the half rack, and you get the two sides as well as your refills for just $16.99. Now you get your chance to choose from some delicious options, including sweet and smoky beans, seasoned fries, fried okra, and so much more. As far as your ribs go, original, sweet and sticky. What about spicy Carolina, Tennessee red, or Caribbean? Is it Caribbean or Caribbean? I think both are okay, but I don't know. I've been taught because of movies it's Pirates of the Caribbean, but I also heard Tom Hanks pronounce it Caribbean. He's everybody's dad, so I don't know who to believe anymore. But Rib Fest is on at Rib Crib on North Main in Roswell all month long. We're talking about endless, slow-smoked righteous ribs. All you can eat, just $19.99. It's happening all month long, all Rib Fest month long at Rib Crib on North Main in Roswell, where they've been smoking the good stuff since 1992. By the way, also want to put this on your radar. Baseball fans, listen up, because the Roswell Invaders are teaming up with the Historical Society for Southeastern New Mexico for the Southeast New Mexico Historical Society / Youth Challenge Academy Night. It's your Roswell Invaders taking on the Pecos Bills. It's going down at Joe Bauman Stadium. That's at 100 East Poe right here in Roswell this Thursday beginning at 6:30. Folks from the 1956 Lions Hondo Little League World Series champions going to throw out the first pitch at the game, and you have a chance to learn more about the Historical Society by visiting the booth there at Bauman Stadium. So come on out, get ready to root for your Roswell Invaders taking on the Pecos Bills this Thursday night, 6:30 p.m. at Joe Bauman Stadium, 100 East Poe. If you need more info, you can always check out the Roswell Historical Society or the Roswell Invaders on Facebook. They will have all the info that you need to know. Big thanks for everybody for sticking with me on this Monday morning. Hopefully my voice will hold out for the rest of the week, but we're going to see what happens. It's rolling the dice. Of course, Mixmaster Mike back inside your radios next week. I'll be with you for the rest of this week. Big thanks to Digger Wells for filling in over on 92.9 The Brand. And as for the rest of you, have a great rest of your Monday. Be back inside your radios this time tomorrow morning, bright and early. Come on back and join us for another morning without Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. Till next time, be seeing you.
Your home for Armed American Radio is 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
I'm John Scott. California Governor Gavin Newsom says he plans to file a lawsuit against President Trump in response to the administration's deployment of the National Guard to confront immigration protesters who took to the streets of Los Angeles. The president deployed the Guard after protests erupted when